All right, the button's been hit. We're recording.
Oh shit.
Oh no, dude! Now they can hear us.
They can hear us now. Similar to how Obsession roped us back in to make a second video, because there was much to talk about. The Backrooms has somehow brought us back into the rooms.
Even though there's nothing more to
Even though
talk about.
there's nothing to talk
That's the
about.
thing about Obsession is that's one of those movies where, like, the more you think about it, the deeper it goes. Which is why I literally banned myself from thinking about that movie anymore. Past a
You couldn't do it
past
anymore.
that video, I truly do think that I'm probably one of like the top two people in the world most knowledgeable about Obsession.
I think I'm up there. I've been telling people that I've been
I
up there
think you're
because
probably in the
you,
top
you want to
two
hear
as well.
something? You want to hear
Oh, the
something
irony of that.
crazy?
What?
So my boss's wife, she doesn't get to go see movies a lot because she has children that she homeschools and she's very busy. Um, but she's been like, I really want to go see the Obsession movie. And so my other friend was like, we should go see it together. And she's like, I read the whole script online, but I know that there's changes, so now I want to see it even more. And I'm like, you read this script before you watch the movie?
That's peak. She, she,
It is peak.
she knows what she wants.
Yeah.
But yes, we are back to talk about the back rooms, and that's less so to do with like there's actually anything more in the movie really to discuss at all, and more so to do with once again the discourse, the commentary around this movie is once again very interesting. Not
I have
because
never I have never been like associated with a more awful community than the Backrooms Defenders in my entire life. They're just the worst. They're like scum of the earth. They're so
I don't
rude.
know if I'd go
And
that far, but they are rude. You see the difference between the obsession discourse and this is that the obsession discourse was mostly if you disagree with me, you're a bad person. And the backrooms discourse is a bit different. It's more like if you didn't like this movie, you're a big stupid dummy and you should go back to your goy slop and playing Roblox.
And the funny part is, I don't really care about people being like, you disagree with me on Obsession, you're a bad person, or like even the extremes of what people would say. But just being in a comment section with somebody who it just like tries to shut down the argument by saying I'm not smart enough to understand the movie, and I'm like, you can't even tell me the theme of the movie, and it was shoved down our throats the
That's the
entire
ironic
movie.
thing is that like you have to be really smart and like high IQ to enjoy the backrooms. You're like, what are you talking about? Like everything you need to know is super spelled out.
It is it is spelled out many
They
times.
couldn't
They
resist
literally
having
do like
giant monologue voiceovers that explain the theme every few minutes when they could have.
it's absurd. Uh, it drives me insane.
You might just not be smart enough to enjoy it, princess.
You're just mad because there are too many wombs, princess. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? To be completely fair, once we hit like room 800 at hour 15 of the runtime, I was kind of like, what does seeing any more of these rooms add? You know?
We learn nothing more about this universe from seeing another room. It
Yeah,
no longer builds suspense. It no longer like tells us anything. We're just see it's like it's just brain rot. It's
yeah.
literally like
Let's talk
I
about
I
let's talk about pacing for a second because like they're like, oh, you just don't like slow paced things. Like, okay. So let's go through this. Yeah, my favorite TV show is The Sopranos, which is full of side plots that just seem completely tangential and pointless to anything,
yeah.
but ultimately have some kind of consequence later down the line.
Hmm.
And like the amount of like quote unquote like mob stuff in that show is is extremely low, all things considered. It's mostly just like a soap opera almost.
Uh-huh.
And it's great and I love it.
Uh,
Uh
there's so many slow like I
any
mean, I
Tarantino movie? Tarantino
Any
movies
Tarantino
very
movie.
slow paced films. Kill Bill, good lord. Like,
Would you consider Game of Thrones, the first four seasons, slow paced?
I mean, I consider all 8 seasons probably, except maybe the last one, because the last one's really rushing to do all the different things. But yeah, Game of Thrones is pretty slow paced, I would say.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of different side plots that all need to
Let's not forget
advance.
the greatest horror movie ever made, Hereditary. Very slow paced.
Absolutely. The Backrooms ultimately proves that it doesn't so much matter what pace you set, it's more what do you do with the pace.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, what are we doing with our slow pace in the Backrooms? We are showing more of the same rooms. Yep. Yep, that's what we're doing.
That's not slow pacing. That is called a lack of storytelling.
It's just not very efficient at all.
Yeah.
I
It's
remember the
so
ending bit.
tragic.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, not the ending bit, but the bit where therapy lady goes into the back rooms, and we get like another 5 minute scene of her walking through like the same rooms that Madman already walked through. And as the audience, like, we're not getting any new information from this. We're just getting her being like, the same rooms as before. Oh,
Yeah.
like in Hereditary, there's that whole scene where Annie goes up in the attic and finds her mom's body, and then she gets her husband to go up there, and there's no need for the camera to go with him to go see that because we already know what he's going to see, so they're able to show her doing something different, and we hear his reaction, which is the part that matters.
Yeah.
It's like we could have done that in the back rooms. Maybe we could have had her go
Yeah.
in and then like cut to
I've also
something else and then cut to her with like looking like she would be looking. We've already seen these rooms.
I have switched sides on this argument of it's a because a lot of people are saying you're just mad that they did a faithful interpretation of the backroads. And we kind of argued that like if it's a faithful adaptation, then ultimately it wasn't something that was ready to be adapted to film because of the difference in a YouTube short or short video and a feature film. But I am switching sides. I no longer think that this is a faithful adaptation of the Backrooms at all. My main reason to defend this is that the whole concept of the Backrooms is unless you're a Backrooms explorer hunting for a no clip zone, you end up in the Backrooms out of your own like it's outside of your wishes. You just like fall through the floor. You slip through a wall, and that's the horror of the Backrooms. And this movie goes completely opposite and says it is someone's choice to enter the Backrooms. And I no longer think that it is fair or true to call this a faithful adaptation. I think it's quite the opposite.
I understand. I understand that. Uh,
Is it a visual adaptation? Yeah, sure. It looks great. Nobody ever said this movie didn't look great.
it's
They did a
just
good job making the
it looked
Backrooms.
it looked for too long. That's the problem.
For too long. For
That's
too long, I've searched
for
for a
too
story in
long.
this.
We are exploring a series of rooms that have no further impact on the audience past a certain point. Except apparently it did. Apparently people were like, "Wait, he's gonna go to another room. Oh,
Oh
he
no,
did it. He went in."
Chambers!
Apparently people loved this.
Uh, I don't think anybody actually loves it. I think that it is. I'll say it again. It is the banana duct taped to a wall, and everybody is like, "Oh my gosh, it's art." It's not art. It is a slop rendition of something that is passionate and intentional. There is no
It's the
intentionality in this movie.
slopification of the art film industry, which
That's exactly what it is. And
oh
we're
boy.
about to see a whole lot of slop from A24, I'm predicting. I think you overhype A24 a lot. I think there are a lot more bad movies than you think, but I think that it's about to get a
Well,
whole lot worse.
did I've never said that like A24 has like a particularly like they all of their movies are great. I'm an
Yeah,
A24
I know. You just
glazer
said that
in
you
that
like
like
trust them way more.
a lot of my like a huge plurality of my favorite movies are A24 movies.
Okay,
shows that
okay,
they
that's
kind of have like they kind of have a way of finding real artists to make stuff
yeah.
instead of like finding I don't know, Dave Filoni or J.J. Abrams or people like that, you
Dude,
know, the Russo
you wouldn't call the
brothers.
people who came up with space ramming artists?
They're
I would
definitely
say they are
it's a
they're at
type
the
of
forefront of
artist.
art.
Well, actually, that's funny because Ryan Johnson, the guy who made that movie, I think is probably the most like artistic out of all of them, and he sucks. He made he made Knives Out movies, which are oh boy,
Not good.
they're pretty bad, man. Especially the second one.
Uh,
The second one's the
yeah.
one where he freaking murders the girl and she has an identical twin that he doesn't know about, and the identical twin shows up at his island with the world's greatest detective, and he's just like, oh, well, that's weird, and he just lets them stay. Like, oh, that's pretty terrible, man. That's pretty terrible. All right,
This
well,
is terrible because I finished my cup of milk before we even start the
I
reactions.
only have a little bit of milk left myself. That wasn't coordinated, by the way. It's just
I'll eat an orange while we
all
start.
right. Well,
Uh,
I will go ahead and cue the two viewers in on what we're doing here. We are going to be reacting to three, count them, three different Backrooms YouTube videos where we get to hear from people who defend the Backrooms, what they think, and, you know, maybe we just might hear from somebody who's got a little bit of a different perspective at some point down the line. But that all remains to be seen.
now we have to interact with this community.
Do you want
It's
to
gonna be wonderful.
do?
We're gonna have a great time.
Oh wait, do you want to do
Pardon?
critical critical
Let's
drinkle?
do critical drinker to set the mood, dude. Let's
Okay,
do it.
okay. Get the video. Put it in
I sent it to you already.
Pog. This okay. This is a video called "The Backrooms Absolutely Humiliates Modern Hollywood" by
Which is a true statement.
the Critical Drinker. It does humiliate it in the sense of like budget. It definitely.
Life, it
Oh my
seems,
goodness,
is
it's going. No, stop.
It
Life.
humiliates it in the sense that
There you go.
we fucking beat Mandalorian and Grogu into the fucking dirt.
Yeah,
We smashed
we
that.
beat Mandalorian and Grogu.
Dude, if the people saw our video, the people saw it and they knew. They knew not to go see the movie. That's the reality. I told somebody that how bad that movie was, and they were like, "Really? But the Mandalorian show was so popular and good. How is it failing?" And I was like, "The
Uh,
Mandalorian was slop." And then she was like, "No, I think that it was like a huge talking point on fascism and fighting fascism." And I was like, "Nope, that's
what about
Andor.
Andor? Yeah. Wait,
Mandalorian is slop."
how is the Mandalorian about fighting fascism? What?
Because the Empire is in it, and if their Empire is fascism, and anybody who fights the Empire is good.
Wait, so what would the message be then? The message is if there are fascists, you should put on a suit of armor and fly around and shoot them?
I think that's what you should do. I
Like,
think that's a pretty
there's
good
nothing
message,
else going
actually.
on, and you should also raise your
Yeah,
children.
you should raise your green children
All right,
specifically,
well,
and you should give them force knowledge.
without further ado, the critical drinker. Let us see what he has to say.
not without a
Uh,
sense of humour, dear viewer. With $200 million creatively bankrupt corporate slop like Mandalorian and Grogu currently bombing harder than the US Air Force, and Supergirl and Masters of the Universe likely to follow in its footsteps, the box office is somehow being dominated by a pair of low-budget indie horror flicks made by YouTubers of all.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
one of
mention
these is very good. The other one is very not good.
the other one. One of which is very good, but somewhat overrated. I'm gonna
Yes,
say that somewhat overrated, and the other one is not good. Um, but yeah, Masters of the Universe. Forgot to mention that. Haven't seen it. That movie has completely flopped. Like
I
it's
didn't
had a
know.
terrible opening weekend.
I didn't know it was a thing until I saw the Drinkers video. I saw his thumbnail, but I was so mad at this video that I didn't watch it. So it's like I'm going. I can't do it. He's upset me.
Yeah,
He has
I don't really
upset
care
me.
about Masters of the Universe at all. I'm just saying it's like interesting
What
that
is
that
it?
movie is. It's the He-Man movie. We would have seen previews
Oh,
for it, right?
it's the guy who says the controversial thing and then runs away meme.
I have the power. Yeah, it's that.
Girl and Masters of the Universe likely to follow in its footsteps, the box office is somehow being dominated by a pair of low-budget indie horror flicks made by YouTubers of all people. And you know what? I'm loving it. Obsession was a superb supernatural horror movie driven by strong performances and a neat premise that gave the audience a lot to think about by the end, but it
And and that is unlike
Uh,
another movie that he's about to discuss.
I hate that they haven't like critiqued Obsession at all because there I enjoyed it a lot and I will glaze it to the end of the earth because I hate Backrooms so much. But like guys, it was at best a 6 out of 10. It
A
was an
high
enjoyable
six.
6 out of 10.
A six with
It has
extremely high highs and very unfortunate lows.
yeah, it has some big
As
problems.
opposed to Backrooms, which is like the perfect 5.
Yeah,
It's the
Backrooms
5 where
exists.
there's no
I
highs.
don't even think it's a 5, dude. I don't think it's a
That's
5
a.
at
I think
all.
it's a 5. I think it mostly actually is pretty coherent, mostly, but it just achieves nothing. It does nothing. It goes through you. You know, it goes in your mouth and it goes through your body and it comes out the other end.
It's Backrooms that's really making waves right now, pulling in more than $80 million on its opening weekend and showing no signs of slowing down. Based on the famous internet creepypasta and directed by 20-year-old YouTuber Kane Parsons, Jesus, I've got stuff in my fridge that's older than this guy. Backrooms is a fascinating case study of internet culture crossing over into mainstream entertainment and giving it a bit of a kicking in the process. But what's the real story with Backrooms? Does it live up to the hype, or is it just an overblown generic horror movie trading on name recognition? Well, let's find out, shall we? The movie takes place
Just so you know, nothing of any value will be said about Backrooms throughout this. There will be no point of like interesting comments or anything that might be taken from the Backrooms.
Yeah,
We're just gonna do a synopsis
why are we watching this video? Like,
because we're setting the mood for the people talking about the Backrooms.
fair
Of
enough.
like, even the critical drinker can't tell you anything good or bad about this movie other than the visuals.
Yeah, Critical Drinker's
sometime
not
in the
known
early
as
90s.
being like a slop creator who doesn't like have an opinion. He's known for having an opinion
Yeah.
about things.
And he's definitely not the best of them, but he's up there. He's near the
Yeah,
top.
I'm glad that he has an opinion. That's he's doing better than
What's
Chris
his face?
Bumstead. Chris Bumstead. What am I
Chris
talking about?
Bumstead.
I'm Chris Stuckman. That's his name.
I would love to see a C-Bum video on the Backrooms. Post it up.
Chris Bumstead just watching the
Can't
back
even
rooms.
like reach to the laptop
Oh
because his
man,
lats
he
are
wouldn't
so
even
big.
fit in through the stupid door.
He just like bumps into the wall. Must be another wall. Like slowly walks off
Bumps
with
into a
his
wall.
like
Must
lat
be a
spreading.
wall. Anyway.
90s and focuses on Clark, a divorced alcoholic furniture store owner struggling to keep his business above water. One night he's investigating weird electrical problems down in the basement when he accidentally walks right through one of the walls and finds himself in the back rooms. What the hell are the backrooms? Well, they're a mysterious alternate dimension composed of an endless maze of rooms and corridors filled with random objects and pieces of furniture, all painted the same sickly yellow colour and all lit with the same neon strip lights. It's a place where the laws of architecture and space
It's not even true, by the way, because there's other areas in the back rooms that aren't that color and aren't lit by the same lights.
I honestly don't know if Drinker even watched the movie.
What is
It is very possible that he did not actually watch the Backrooms movie.
what is? Hold up. So the back rooms, people are like, oh, it's left to interpretation. What they are? Um, I reckon they're Clark. I reckon they're a reflection of Clark because we see the steering wheel and the no credit sign, and then
No,
obviously,
it's like a a alternate reality layered somewhere along with our reality, where the reality itself is trying to replicate our reality, and um,
No.
it just remembers everything from a certain point. The certain point of this Backrooms is Clark's store. But then there's alternate Backrooms realities, which is there's a shot where it's like going down, 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 and we see the same room replicated over and over and over. It's because there's a million of them. There's a million realities, and they're all trying to replicate Earth, but they're all replicating from the layer above them, and so it gets distorted farther and farther and
But
farther
you're
and farther.
but you didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say something, but
I'm
it's
sorry. I didn't
okay.
mean to.
We don't have to.
No, you can go.
No.
No, no, no.
I know
I thought we were having a
what I
nice
was gonna
podcast.
s- what I was gonna say is in the beginning the async employee is in the backrooms and he is a like an objective point of view, and his
Yeah.
camera finds the steering wheel and the no credit sign. So unless he just happened to enter that area of the backrooms, which I would assume requires going through the same wall that Clark did, if he just happened to be in that area, that just seems really unlikely. It seems more likely that the backrooms is genuinely just trying to reflect Clark for some reason.
Well, I think that they were like fairly close together, right? Because the entrance of the async employees, the entrance leads directly into that giant flumpification of the store that's at the end of the movie.
So the backrooms is like it's
The
objective
Backrooms,
in terms of how it reflects like what the area around its entrances.
I'm not sure, but I think that the actual area of the Backrooms that we were shown is actually a very small section of the Backrooms, which is why it was
Well, yeah,
only
obviously.
reflecting things from that area.
Huh.
But say if you were to walk 50 miles west in the Backrooms of that place, I bet it would be a different flumification.
Why was it only reflecting the furniture store there and not like any of the other surrounding stores or houses
Because
or
I
anything?
told you, the plot doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh.
Spatial
It's
reality
also
don't
like,
seem to apply anymore, where there seems to be no limit to how far they reach, and where Clark soon realizes he's not alone. Eager to explore the place and figure out its secrets, he enlists the help of his two employees to help him document the whole thing on video camera. And well, it doesn't exactly go according to plan. Enter Clark's therapist Mary, who follows him to the store after getting a creepy message from him on her answering machine, and soon finds herself in the back rooms as well. Oh my goodness, who could have predicted this? But what really became of Clark and the others? What else might be lurking in there with them? And will she ever find a way to escape? Now, it's impossible.
It's really crazy how he just summarized the entire damn film in like four events.
yeah.
There's like there's like there's like three or four different things that happen in this movie.
It's just a slow burner, dude. It's slow burn horror. You just don't get it.
Oh.
You aren't smart enough to understand.
Oh. Well, why didn't you just say that before? I now love the backrooms.
I no longer feel the need to go back to my Roblox games. Thank you,
Wow,
internet.
you've cured me.
For me to talk about Backrooms without addressing by far the film's biggest strength, its atmosphere. The original Backrooms creepypasta was the
Yes or no? Is the atmosphere this movie's greatest strength?
I would say the set is the greatest strength. The atmosphere is severely lacking because,
I did not find it to be scary at all.
yeah, it's just not scary. The scariest part is the experience of waiting for it to be over.
The scariest part is the runtime.
This movie's so bad. I
No,
don't
what
understand why
would you
people like
actually
it.
say is the greatest strength? Oh, you would say the set?
Yeah, the set, absolutely.
I would
The set
say
design or the cinematography, which are the
yeah.
least important parts of the
I would
movie.
also say the character work is underrated. The problem is it only happens like once. That's
Yeah, character work singular, not plural.
it's of a good quality, but it is of a low quantity in terms
The
of
acting is
character
fine.
work.
It's not like
Yeah,
special,
I
but
mean,
it's not bad
yeah,
at all.
it's all right, you know.
I wish they wrote a good script so Sophia Falcone could be in the movie. I don't remember her
Yeah,
real name.
Kristen Milioti, she was supposed to play a therapy lady, but fortunately for her, she escaped.
I don't know if I could ever watch her in a movie and have her be. It's like watching a movie with Skylar in it. It's like you're Skylar, you're not anyone else ever.
I guarantee that I guarantee that Kristen saw the script for this and she was like, "Oh, there's just like nothing here to work with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bounce."
There's no substance at all to this plot. Also, A24 didn't even let Kane Parsons write the script.
Who wrote the script? So I can
I
kill
can't
them.
remember he's just some like nobody ghostwriter who hasn't written anything of note until this. But now Kane Parsons is already starting Backrooms 2. Wonderful.
Backrooms 2. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
and he's looking for someone to write for him.
I'll do it.
I know, please let us do it.
I'll do it.
I volunteer as tribute.
All right.
I'm gonna message him and be like, listen, dude, that movie sucked, but I love how passionate you are. Please let me and my friend write this movie. It will be so much better.
We'll do it for free.
We'll do it for free.
All right,
We should just write a
I'm playing the
script and then
video.
send it to him.
Quintessential liminal space, a superficially normal location that contains familiar, even mundane objects from our own world, but with a nagging, eerie sense of wrongness about it. Like having a casual conversation with someone from Aberdeen. There's something just not quite right about the place. You know it deep down, and because you can't pin it down to anything specific, that only makes the whole thing more disturbing. The movie captures this feeling absolutely perfect.
I don't know. I watched this movie and I'm actually like, I know exactly what's going to happen because I've already seen the Backrooms stuff on YouTube. So it kind of loses its actual, like, if this is the first Backrooms related thing that came out, I think it would have been way better, honestly.
I disagree so much. I think that if this was the first Backrooms things to come out, the Backrooms never would have been popular because nobody would have watched this movie and nobody would have liked it.
Well, I didn't say it'd be more popular. I just said it would be better. The movie would be better.
No, again, I disagree. I think that it would have been incredibly easy to make a very good Backrooms movie. They just didn't
Well,
capture
I'm not
any of
saying
the
they couldn't
suspense
have
at
made a
all.
better one. I'm just saying like it would have been of a higher like it would have been scarier had this been the first one to come out. Because it would have been like, what is this weird place, you know? But when you've already seen the
Maybe,
YouTube
yeah.
videos, like you know what this weird place is. I'm not saying it would have been a great movie. I'm just saying like it would have been the
It would have been
baseline would have been
slightly more
higher by
enjoyable.
default. Yeah, exactly. It would have been creepier and all that good stuff.
That might be fair.
The Backrooms themselves are this strange, unnerving network of rooms, corridors, and different levels that follow no logical pattern and seemingly have no end, all painted the same colour, all lit the same way, crushingly claustrophobic in their conformity. They're also a nice break from the usual cliched shit you get in horror movies like this. Instead of the superficial horror tropes of dark basements or dense woodland illuminated by probing flashlight beams, the Backrooms are this weirdly bright, sterile, almost tediously normal looking environment. The fear they provoke is something deeper, more creeping.
Normal looking is not something I would use to describe the Backrooms.
I guess it's more normal looking than like is it? Wait. Can something be mundane without being normal?
uh, yes,
Yeah, that's how I
absolutely.
would
I mean,
describe
I would
them. I
say
would
that
describe
there's
them
not a
as mundane.
single. I would say there's no set in this movie that looks like a place that has ever existed. It reminds me of the like town in Edward Scissorhands. That's what every single like real life place reminds me of in this world. It's already a weird world, and then the Backrooms is just much weirder than the weird world.
Yeah, the surface world is very creepy in a way too. Like
Yeah, it's eerie.
Captain Clark's grocery store or furniture store is terrifying.
It is really, yeah,
Absence of backrooms.
yeah. It's if I got locked in that place at night, I think I'd cry myself to sleep.
Yeah, I'd cry myself to sleep too, but mostly because I'm locked in a I'm locked in a store and there's no food or anything here.
You
Because
can eat the furniture.
that's true. I guess I could always go into the back rooms and eat the little people down there.
Backrooms food expedition.
Yeah,
Imagine that
it's
as a
like when you
plot for a
sneak
Backrooms movie.
downstairs to the fridge in the middle of the night to go get a snack. You're like watching shorts on your phone, so you just turn the phone screen to like light up the kitchen with whatever fucking reel you're watching.
You think you can eat Captain Clark or the Manster? You think you can eat him?
Well, he can eat us, so I assume
That's true.
if something can
I
eat
hope he
you,
doesn't eat me.
you can probably eat it.
More primal, the growing realization that they make no sense precisely because they don't want to be understood. The paranoia that something else might be in there with you, a figure glimpsed around a corner, the sound of movement coming from deeper within the maze, something lurking at the corner of your eye, just out of sight so you can't be sure what you saw, you just know that it's there. And credit to the set designers on this one, Backrooms was done mostly with real practical sets, with minimal CGI for some of the real mind-bending stuff in the later sections, but for the most part it looks fucking superb. You actually
Mind-bending
feel
stuff.
like
What mind-bending stuff?
I already told you, waiting for the movie to end.
What
Ended my mind.
what was like the no, what was the mind-bending set? Like, yeah, they're all like, ooh, creepy. Liminal space. What was mind-bending about it?
The optical illusions? Question mark. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think there were any obstacle
Once again,
illusions.
my dear old friend the drinker will not explain anything. He will just glaze this
An
movie and then
unfortunate problem
continue.
with making a 7-minute YouTube video is you don't really get a lot of time to actually explain your thoughts on a particular thing and why maybe it works or maybe it doesn't.
I think I could explain why this movie sucks in 7 minutes. I've done it before, in fact.
Sure, but it's still it would not be like as convincing as say a much longer video breaking down every single scene. Oh, I wonder
Yeah.
if one of those has ever been made before.
I wonder. Maybe you should click on the circle
Yeah, maybe you
and
should
see.
click that subscribe button.
God damn it. We're already
It's
we've
the
lost our souls to the algorithm.
and the algorithm has given us nothing in return.
you're right there with the actors instead of trapped inside some dimensionless, soulless Marvel movie. The film really takes its time building all this up, letting the feeling of wrongness settle on the audience, allowing the tension to slowly build as Clark moves from room
There's no
to room,
tension.
equally
I would argue it goes on so long that the tension evaporates. The
I would say the tension evaporates in the cold open.
when
That's where
the
the just because of how long it goes on.
when all the trash gets dumped on the little girls, that's when it evaporated.
They didn't actually get trash dumped on them, dude.
I know, but
It
it was
was
funny.
it
They
was
did.
funny.
baffled and fascinated by what he's seeing. He's an architect by profession, an expert on design and construction, but everything he sees defies what he knows to be true, and as the movie progresses, he becomes more and more fixated on the idea of exploring and ultimately understanding the backrooms. A rational man pitting himself against something that simply defies rationality, and in the end, getting completely undone by it. He's nicely balanced out by Mary, his psychiatrist who's been struggling to help him through a messy divorce and his struggles with drink and depression, not to mention his reluctance to come to terms with his own part in all of this. But as it turns out, Mary has a few issues of her own that neatly dovetail with the very concept of the backrooms. I also have to tip my
What are they?
Well, they do exist. However, I would wager that they are actually very bad, and the story decides that, you know, they're going to do the opposite of what they said the Backrooms will be about. And the theme of the movie is you will be saved by the government and Company Phil.
Company
That's what the
Phil.
theme of the movie is.
Company Phil, I'm here to help. I've seen this before.
I've seen this before.
You gotta say, it's not before, it's before. I've seen this
I've seen
before.
this before. Ah, Company Phil, you light my life
There
up.
was a terrible decision to have Async show up and at the end there. They should have had her defeat the monster and escape or die. Not not the company comes in and saves the day. Good lord. That's the one thing I'm afraid of with like Disclosure Day that's coming up
Uh-huh.
is like it looks like a neat, interesting horror concept, but then there's like shots in the trailer of like big rooms with like all these big screens and guys in suits running around who are like, we gotta stop this. And you're like, oh man. It's just not. That's how you just obliterate all of your horror immediately. Once you have the government agents, they know what to do.
Hat to the lead actors.
Dear God, you fucking prick.
Hat to the lead actors
What?
here. Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renate Rensive. Fuck me, they don't exactly roll off the tongue, do they? Both do an excellent job portraying their respective characters. Ejiofor is one of those solid, dependable actors who just always delivers no matter what slop he's in. So in this case, it's nice to see him in a role that actually rewards his talents for once. Now, I'm by no means an expert on the lore of the Backrooms or the video games and other shit that have spun off from it, but I do get the impression that it was altered quite a bit to fit the conceits of a character-driven movie, mostly in
You would be
conceits?
wrong, dear drinker.
The conceits of what does that mean? The conceits of
I
a
don't know what it
character-driven
means.
movie. I think he misspoke.
I think he meant the confines.
Yeah, the conceits. Okay, I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him for now.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
It's not egregious.
It's a speech check.
Hey, be careful. We're gonna have to get the dart gun.
terms of the creatures that live there and what the environment itself is meant to represent. If you've ever played something like Silent Hill 2, where the enemies and even the town itself reshapes to fit the protagonist's tortured mindscape, then you'll get some sense of what the Backrooms is trying to achieve. Purists are probably going to be mad about it, but for a normie like me, I was more than happy to just lose myself in the experience.
That's really funny. The purists are gonna be mad, but for normies, this is a very watchable movie. I think the opposite.
There's so much wrong with this.
The opposite is true. It's
Yeah.
the normies who don't like it. It's the Backrooms purists who are like, well, I thought this was a pretty good movie. It really put Mandalorian and Grogu to shame.
What are you doing? What the fuck
Hey,
is
it's still early, dude. My accent game isn't on
that?
point.
It was like a really bad drinker impression mixed with a pirate voice.
Yeah, dude, I'm turning into the pirate.
No.
I'm turning into Pirate Clark. The Backrooms are coming for me.
Now, horror movies often struggle to keep the tension going in the third act when
And it doesn't exist in this one.
payoff and answers have to take priority over build-up and interesting questions, and to some extent Backrooms suffers from the same problem. Not that it was bad or disappointing necessarily, but after all the intriguing setup and the slow build in tension, the finale really just boils down
Intriguing
to
setup.
main character getting chased through a maze by a scary monster. There's nothing more complicated to it than that, and it just feels like a slightly missed opportunity to do something a bit more interesting.
Couldn't agree more.
Or anything
Yeah,
at all.
like if anything was happening in the movie, I would have agreed.
Overall,
I
though,
also would
Backroom-
like to argue that the problem is not in the third act. Like maybe the very end when Company Phil comes in and saves the day, but I would say the problem lies in the first and second act that are like the worst first and second act in history, where nothing happens. There is no setup. There's no setup at all. They skip the setup.
Yeah, the second act, especially like from the moment Man enters the Backrooms, is like, all right. That's kind of when I started to die, because at first I was like, well, this is just the opening, right? Once we get to the horror, it'll become maybe more interesting. But no, it actually becomes less interesting.
Much less.
I wanted to watch a movie about him dealing with like his failing furniture business.
It's like it's Whiplash, but it's about trying to make his furniture business succeed. Buy my furniture. Da, 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 da. No credit.
You are a worthless furniture salesman, piece of shit. Can't even move a chair through a door.
I suppose you're wondering why I threw my couch at you. You came to my store with credit.
Give a credit card to a fucking retard. He's gonna use it to buy furniture.
along
You really
with
do look
obsession
quite like a leprechaun.
Yeah, He doesn't.
Represents exactly the kind of movies we desperately need more of these days. Interesting, daring, artistically ambitious projects made by passionate creatives
Daring.
that rely on strong ideas and lean, efficient filmmaking instead of obscene
Lean, efficient filmmaking. Are you having a
Did he say
giraffe?
that?
Are you having a giraffe? You've got me. Let's roll that back.
days. Interesting, daring, artistically ambitious projects made by passionate creatives that rely on strong ideas and lean, efficient filmmaking instead of obscene budgets and exhausting promo campaigns to sell tickets. The buzz around these films isn't just
I feel like this movie did rely on a promo campaign to sell tickets.
I would say that this is possibly the safest movie ever made.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
never
Of
going to
course, a
not make
ton of
money.
people were gonna go see the Backrooms movie. It's like a phenomenon on the internet.
Yeah,
Same thing with like the
it's
Five
like
Nights
the
at
Five
Freddy's
Nights
movie.
at
Yeah,
Freddy's
exactly.
movie.
I guess you could have said that
I,
about Star Wars at one point, but like if they make
how can
Backrooms 2, it's gonna make less money because there's lots of people who went and saw this and were like, "Wow, that was really boring."
I am astonished that anyone, even especially Drinker, would say that this movie relied on lean, efficient storytelling.
I get the
That is the
feeling.
most insane thing I've heard.
I think a lot of people are kind of relaxing. This is my answer to your question earlier of why no one's like critiquing Obsession. I think people are relaxing their standards subconsciously because these movies are like kicking the ass of Disney Star Wars. And they're excited to see Disney Star Wars finally start to fail because it's been bad for so long, which I understand. I'm glad
Yeah.
Mandalorian and Grogu isn't making any money and that these movies are. But that doesn't mean like I'm going to ignore like whether or not these movies are of high quality, which one of them has a lot of high quality stuff in it that's being held back by some bad decisions, and then the other movie has like nothing really of worth in it except some
Mhm.
cool sets.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they're beating Disney, so it's okay.
they're beating Disney.
organic. It's a decade of repressed audience hunger for good entertainment that's finally found an outlet. If Hollywood can't provide them what they want, then someone else can, and apparently will. You fucking love to see it, man. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
We will.
Go
We
away
will. So yeah, that was the first video we're gonna cover, and that was
Yeah.
that was pretty
The
like
Critical
chill,
Drinker.
right?
Yeah.
That was
I
kind of
I
like
just
nothing,
I think
unoffensive.
this is a good way to set the standard of people talking about the Backrooms because number one, everyone can summarize not even summarize the plot. Everyone can tell you the whole plot in 3 to 4 minutes. um, Number two, anyone who says anything good about this movie has no substance behind their praise. They just say it, and if you question it at all, it leads to nowhere. Ah!
I
What
don't
are you
know what
doing?
I'm queuing up the next video and it likes to autoplay.
Yeah, but like this movie, no one that I have been able to talk to has been able to tell me why they enjoyed this movie. I had like a really long talk with my coworker about it because he enjoyed the movie. And I like explained to him my stance on deciding whether a movie is objectively good or not. And by the end of the conversation, he was like, "Yeah, I guess you're right that it wasn't like a good movie, but I still enjoyed it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's all that matters. All that matters to an individual person is if they enjoyed it or not. But there are objective qualities to to movies, and this is a very bad objective movie." And I get very offended when people make bad movies because I know how easy it is to write a good story. You
Yeah,
don't have to write a bad story.
the
You can write a
analogy,
good story.
the easy analogy for people is like, take music, right? In music, there are certain chord structures, there are certain scales, there are certain arrangements of notes that just sound better than other arrangements of notes because they just are. And like it's inarguable that they're not better. But like you can enjoy a song that doesn't take those things. You can enjoy a song that doesn't use good music theory. You can,
Yeah.
but making songs that follow those guidelines and utilize proper theory, those songs are just going to be better, and they're going to be more appealing to a larger number of people. So that's pretty much the
Yeah.
analogy.
But the ultimate problem with the people talking about this movie is if you try and question them, they'll just shut down the topic. They'll shut down the debate and they'll say either you're too dumb to enjoy it, you just wanted it to be a slop movie, you're just mad that the movie has no answers and is supposed to be left open to interpretation, or you're just nitpicking.
Which, for the record, I don't care if your movie is open to interpretation. That's cool. Like,
Yeah, who cares?
I
Nobody cares.
that's honestly better because then I have something to think about after. In some cases, it wasn't that this movie wasn't left up to interpretation. It's that it was just nothing. It's just a
It
big
was
old nothing burger.
it was a nothing burger. A nothing burger with
But
a nothing sandwich and nothing fries
that
with
thing
nothing
that
sauce.
thing you were just discussing about how the defense of this movie is essentially you are stupid. That didn't really show up too much in the Critical Drinker video. But
No.
we have another video here called The Backrooms Movie Proves We Are Devolving by Resixence.
Resgnix.
Resixence.
Resensgitsinsk.
Don't worry, all of the videos we're covering will be linked in the description. So I'm sorry that we couldn't pronounce your name Resixence, but you're not really going to show us very much respect. So I'm not going to show you very much respect.
Yeah. Is his profile picture Hank? No, I don't know what that is.
Shall we enhance a little bit? We can see who it is.
I can't
Oh wait,
tell.
I opened his channel. It's it's Dr. House. It's House MD.
Oh.
All right.
Well, that's a bad sign.
Well, let's give it a whirl.
So I watched the Backrooms movie yesterday, and it was great. It was
Tell me
honestly
why.
an amazing movie. Really had me, I guess you could say, at the edge of my seat for a lot of the runtime. I will say the beginning is a bit slow. I know it's setting up the characters and it's setting up the situation, especially with Clark and a little bit with Mary. But I feel like we could have gotten to the point where we actually go into the Backrooms a little quicker. But other than that, honestly, loved the movie. Obviously, the best part about it was the Backrooms itself and the exploration and all that. But I am not here today to
I'm
talk
more invested
about
in
the
this
movie
game he's
itself.
playing right now.
I
know.
am here to talk about the discourse, if you can even call.
Oh, he's like us.
Yeah, we're talking about the
Okay,
discourse
we're
too.
we're talking about the discourse and reacting to a video of this guy talking about the discourse.
Now this is meta-analysis
Oh
right here.
boy.
Call it discourse because it's more like just blabbering around the movie.
He's right.
Specifically from a certain group of people. I guess you could call them brainlets, Neanderthals. There's another R word I could use for that, but I don't think YouTube would like that
Say
very
the
much.
slur.
Not that I really
Don't
care,
be a
but
coward.
anyways.
Say it.
I have been seeing a lot of hate for the Backrooms, not just in the usual suspect, which is TikTok, but also on Twitter. Now, to be fair,
Does TikTok hate movies?
Is
I don't
TikTok
know, I
like
don't have
notoriously worse with movie criticism than Twitter?
I don't.
Like, I go to Twitter
why?
for my movie takes.
I go to TikTok. Ew.
Ew. God, what a brainlet.
All
What
of
a
you just go to
Neanderthal.
Reddit.
Reddit's also a terrible place to go. Because
I know, but you can find smart people on Reddit.
Reddit
I
is
don't know
less.
anything about TikTok or Twitter.
Reddit's a bit less generally stupid and a bit more like morally. I wouldn't say morally pure. Righteous, self-righteous.
Oh.
Reddit is very
you see, I am an
self-righteous.
Instagram comment warrior, is what I am.
Instagram comments are a good place to go. Just generally.
That's where I find most
man,
of my funny things.
That's where the that's where the real shit goes down, is Instagram comment sections.
X or Twitter, or however you want to call it, really doesn't count because I feel like Twitter at this point has become a page where it is rage baiting incarnate. You are literally being paid and rewarded to rage bait people. So whenever I see a blue check mark tweeting something like, "Oh, now watching Backrooms," and then like an hour later they go like, "This is the worst movie, worst piece of media I've seen in my entire life," it's like, okay, bro, you have
It's
only
up there.
watched Shrek once. Like,
It's not up there. It's not even.
Oh,
It's not even
is he-
close.
He's throwing shade at Shrek, saying Shrek is the worst piece of media.
I don't know if that's what
That's-
it's saying. Hang on. Let's play it again.
watching Backrooms, and then like an hour later they go like, "This is the worst movie, worst piece of media I've seen in my entire life." It's like, okay, bro, you have only watched Shrek once. Like, you're either lying
Oh,
or you're honestly just so
I see what you're
incapable of
saying.
He's
forming
saying that, like-
actual thoughts. I don't even.
yeah.
And for the record, if you actually say Backrooms is one of the worst movies ever made, I don't agree at all. There's
It's
so
one of the least enjoyable movies ever made.
it's
that's
one of
for sure.
yes, it is. It is very boring. It is very kind of unpleasant, but it's nowhere near like as bad as like Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh boy. It's like, like if you peel apart the script of Backrooms, like does it actually accomplish its narrative objectives? Like yeah, I guess it does.
Well, no, it doesn't, because what happens in the narrative is that you will, in the end, be saved by Company Phil, which is not
That's
accurate
true.
to how they're trying to tell their
That's
story.
true.
But
That's not, but like it's still, it
Yeah.
definitely blows other movies out of the water from like a script perspective.
yeah,
Deem you as a human being. You're probably just a bot, anyways, but I digress. I want to talk about the insane amount of hate the Backrooms has been getting ever since it released, really, from people calling it boring, no plot, nothing happened. We're like, did we watch the same fucking movie? I'm actually, before I even get into the two like short videos I want to discuss, I want to talk about my experience watching.
not only are we reacting to him reacting to discourse around the Backrooms, but we're reacting to a video of him reacting to two other videos talking about the discussion.
I haven't seen this whole video. I've only seen like the first half of it. So once we get to like 7 minutes in, we're
I also think that the concept of this video is very silly, because the only people I've seen enjoying this movie are children or people with very childlike movie takes. So it's very funny
and
that
Critical
he's like,
Drinker.
no comment about Critical Drinker. I'm gonna refrain from insulting him because I still have respect for him, even though it's
don't.
by far his worst video.
I didn't have
I
I
will
didn't well I
not-
got a little bit of respect for him because he has an opinion, but I also think he's a grifter, so
I am a oh god damn it, I forgot what I was gonna say.
that being said, I'd talk to him. I'd go talk to Critical Drinker about movies. I think he'd be one of the more interesting people to talk to.
You think he does the voice the whole time? Or wait, he is
Yeah,
Irish.
that's just
Never
what
mind.
that's just what he sounds like. Like you've never seen him go on like a podcast or something.
I keep forgetting.
He's not
that a
Irish, he's
real
Scottish.
person.
That's not an Irish
Scottish.
accent. That's a Scottish accent.
I don't know the difference.
I
They're all the
digress. It was
same.
his
They're all just
father
British- They're all
shows.
just accented British people.
You're a dirty terrorist rat, yeah? Terrorist
This
snitch.
movie because I honestly did not want to go to the theaters to watch it. If you watched my Obsession review, I mentioned that I hate going to theaters, especially when movies are new, because people cannot respect each other. For some reason, it is so hard for people nowadays to just shut the fuck up for a solid hour and 40 minutes.
We had a very quiet movie theater. I've seen a lot of people talking about this, though, about how people were like on their phones the whole movie.
I see a lot of people talking about like, oh my god, movie theaters are so loud and disrespectful these days. I'm like, I haven't noticed that at all.
Well, I think it's just because they live in like big cities, and
Maybe.
everything in big cities is worse.
I don't know, just tell the people to shut up. That usually works. Like the
Yeah,
couple
but also-
times I've had people being annoying in a movie theater, I have gone up to them and been like, "Hey, shut the fuck up," and then they
I
usually
was-
do.
I was watching a video of somebody talking about like the modern theater culture, and she's like, "We need to bring shushing back." And I was like, "When did shushing go away? When did it?"
Yeah, you're
leave?
allowed
When-
to do that.
Yeah, just shush them.
I guess you have to have a level of street cred to get away with it. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
No, that's just impossible. From the second the movie started, there were two motherfuckers sitting right to my left the whole movie. Now they weren't as annoying as they could have been. Granted, they actually didn't talk all that much, but they did talk quite a few times, very loudly, might I add. And then the rows below me, people just yapping constantly, bro. During the movie, there was like 5 people on TikTok. I am not even joking. 5.
Yeah, because what else are you supposed to
He's
do?
really
You were supposed to
boring.
watch the Backrooms. I can't blame them, dude.
Nothing happens.
They need to go watch their short form content with Subway Surfers gameplay.
People on TikTok, and the only times they ever shut off the phone was whenever there was like loud noises or loud music or whatever, and like, oh, something's happening.
So the whole movie, because there was loud music all the time.
Yeah, there was really loud. That's the only part of it that was suspenseful, is the music.
That's the
I was
only
like,
part that had dramatic ambition. It was the soundtrack.
when will the strings come in? That's when the spooky happens.
The strings come in about 10 years before the spooky happens, and they just build up the whole time.
Kid you not. Listen, I know this is gonna sound fake. I know this is gonna sound fake, but I need you to believe me. I swear this on my life, on my mother, on my firstborn, on every single person I love and hold dear.
Okay.
I swear to you, when Clark went into the back rooms, like that scene when he first goes in, there was a kid 2 rows below me who stood up from his chair, walked into the wall, and then turned around and said, well, I guess that didn't work. Nope.
Give that kid an award.
Honestly, that's funny. I would have laughed.
Nobody laughed. I think, like, I actually wanted to kick his head off of his body.
Oh my god.
Oh dear God.
Dude, this guy's spent like 2 minutes talking about this.
That's how annoyed I felt in that moment. But setting the idea of watching movies in theaters, especially a movie like this, where you have to actually pay attention and look at all the details and everything that's happening, setting that horrible movie watching experience aside, why are people hating so much on this movie? Why, like, okay, this is the first video I saw during this whole, like, hate brigade, I guess you can call it.
Just watched the Backrooms movie. 0 out of 10 movie.
Okay, so you just don't know how to rate movies.
It was horrible. There was
You just don't know how to rate. Yeah, I agree. He doesn't.
I agree he doesn't.
I mean,
but
look at him.
he's giving more substance than this guy is.
Yeah, 0 out of 10. Like, no movies is 0 out of 10, right? They all have something in them worth praising at least.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, yes, they do. Absolutely. I can find a point of praise for any movie.
Okay. Rise of Skywalker.
The special effects are good.
Oh, I forgot that basically every shit movie has good special effects.
Yeah, the special effects in that movie look pretty good. Ian McDermott's killing it as Palpatine. He's doing a great job. C-3PO C-3PO makes some funny jokes. Excellent job, sir. Terrible job, sir.
execution, 0 plot.
Okay, so what do you call what happened to Clark then? What do you call the arc that Mary went through? What?
Yeah, instead of 0 plot, there is exactly 1 plot. Get countered, kid. I'm gonna kick your head off.
What do you call what happened to Mary? Mary's arc happens in 30 seconds, and her arc is she goes from thinking she can be a therapist and help people to knowing that she can't change people and only people can change themselves.
Which I
And
feel
it
like
happens
most
in 30
therapists know that,
seconds.
for the record.
Yeah, you have to be a really bad therapist to not know that.
Do you call the death of the 2 employees?
I would call that nothing.
Waste, yeah.
Yeah, they died.
Wasting the best characters in the
They
movie.
were in the movie, and then Clark made them go in the back rooms, and then they died. And then Clark ate them. That's what I would call it. That's all.
Like, are you stupid?
It's like people are in a 5th dimension, just like don't even know what just went on. So I played the game. I played a lot of games actually. I played the game on Roblox, on Steam. I got the plot and stuff.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. I played the game, like, that's the... That's the worst part of this whole thing is all of them saying like, "Oh, you're stupid and you just wanted to be the Roblox game." Like they're not wrong about some people. Some people actually did
Yeah.
want that, which is too bad because we need better representation for us Backrooms haters, man.
I don't know. I think he's pretty good representation. He's
I,
comical
I
representation.
do like him. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
That movie had absolutely zero plot, zero character. I don't know. They're in like some fifth dimension or something.
So this dude, I don't even have to quote it because he himself says it. I don't even know what was going on. Like, how can you, as a human being who lives in this planet, watch a movie? No, not just a movie. A piece of art, media, that has a message.
You watching whatever game he's playing? Because it is so like, it's like a fucking sneak game where you have to get through this maze, and he just keeps, like, walking up to the enemy and then crouching down, and the enemy just doesn't see him anymore.
Yeah, the AI fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah, what
welcome
the
to
fuck
horror
is going
games,
on?
dude.
Has something to say, and it conveys it in a special and unique way. Not under
I like this impassioned speech he's giving as well.
With the funny music in the
Not just a
background.
movie, a piece of art.
Tell me why it's art, please.
What
Give
makes
me
this
a
art more than
logical
like
explanation
other
of why
movies?
this is art.
Yeah, this
Whiplash is art.
every movie is art in like in a way. Like yeah, it
Yeah.
meets the minimum standard of art. And yeah, like Kane Pixel, yes, he wanted to try and do something. Kane Parsons, Kane Pixel, whatever. Those are his two different names.
He just didn't do anything. That's the sad part. He did nothing. He made millions of dollars though.
Yeah, who can fault him for that?
understand it because you clearly just weren't paying attention, and then
I was definitely paying attention. I have a lot
There
of
was nothing to
notes.
pay attention to.
I have
Yeah,
a
I
lot
have
of
a lot
notes.
of notes.
I get the feeling I have more notes on this movie than you do, Mister
I
Rezixent.
I can guarantee that we have more notes than him. I bet if you split both of our notes in half, we still have more notes than him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
turn around and say it's bad because you don't understand. When the movie has a whole scene, by which I mean the dinner scene, where it literally explains everything relevant, like all the main points,
Yeah.
all the main mechanics.
That's what we've been saying.
Dare you not understand when it is literally told to you? Also, is everyone fucking I'll say it because he won't. Is everyone retarded? Like they
Yeah.
explain the plot more than once. It's more than just the dinner scene. It is explained to us like 5 different times in the same
I
monologue
remember
that keeps happening.
I remember after her first monologue, I literally wrote in my notes, okay, so that's the theme. I was like, there it is. They just told us.
And then it happens 4 more times.
Yeah, like there's almost multiple factions here. I disagree with his faction of like this movie is perfect, it's art, you know. And I also disagree with the people who are like, dude, that movie didn't make any sense. I don't understand it. Like those groups are both enemies in their own way.
I don't understand.
Let's hate things for the right reasons, guys.
Let's have logic.
Let's have
Like,
good
if-
reasons for why we don't like what we don't like.
If you can't explain your stance in a clear way to someone who has never, like, doesn't know anything about whatever your stance is on, if you can't explain it in a clear way, you have a bad stance, and you need to go figure out why you have that stance and
Well,
how to convey it.
I would argue that 14-year-old explained his stance extremely well.
I would argue that too, but like,
Oh, wait.
sometimes your stance is still wrong.
Hang on, this game says at the top, it says Murkoff property. So this is an Outlast game, but this isn't Outlast or Outlast 2, because I would recognize them because I've played them. I don't know what game this is.
I don't know, whatever
Is
it
this
is,
Outlast,
like,
Outlast Trials, maybe?
he is either tremendously bad at it, or it is a tremendously poorly made game.
Well, the Outlast games, I wouldn't say they're exactly, great.
No, they're art. They're trying to say
Hey,
something.
I think they're good. All right, I like Outlast. I do, but they're not like masterpiece games or anything. They're pretty flawed.
mechanics that you need to know to understand the movie. Were you asleep during that scene? Were you on TikTok during that scene? And not just that, right after you call it shit, you turn around and try to, I guess, support your claims, give yourself credit by saying, I played the games on Roblox, I played the games on Steam. Bro, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, good job. You debunked that 14-year-old kid who's never had a serious thought in his life. Now go ahead and like respond to.
Debunk me.
Yeah, come talk to us.
Come talk to us.
Come on the show. Come on the show, Resix.
I will only refer to you as Resins.
Well, no, the first thing you have to do is tell us how to pronounce your name. Is it like obviously it's resonance, but you didn't spell it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, even then, even assuming you don't know that, okay, the games are not really tied to the original Kane Parsons series, you gotta be so damn stupid to say, I played the games on Roblox, and think that is a good enough, like, backing up statement to make you look credible, to make it look like you know the shit you're talking about.
I agree. I also don't think that kid had any interest in making himself look credible.
Yeah,
I just think he wanted to make a video.
Yeah, and it was funny. It was funny.
I did enjoy it.
I got a laugh.
It seems a lot more honest than Critical Drinker's video. You know,
Which is, yeah.
It seems like he really means what he's saying.
Yeah, he's passionate. At least he has a passion. At least he's doing something he fucking believes in.
Yeah, he believes.
I want you to really.
But this guy's got passion too. Listen to his voice. He's so angry as he's talking.
He is successful.
I'm gonna kill this kid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna kick his head off.
I'm gonna kick his head off. Kids.
Kids, ding,
Ding.
ding.
At this, not just this guy, but also the people around him and the people I'm gonna show you in the second video, because they all have something in common. I'm not gonna go into that just yet. I'm gonna show the second video first, but I want you to really look at their appearance and the way they talk.
Is he just trying to be racist?
This one didn't even have any talking.
Look at their appearance. Look at them. Look at these dirty fucking minorities.
Dude, stop.
They're crapping
Why would
on
you?
my movie.
Why would you even like bother responding to this? Like, I have what our channel has 8 subscribers, maybe less, maybe 7. I don't
think
remember.
It has 5.
Here, let me double check. Right. The point is, like, we're not important at all in the YouTube critique. It's 7. Okay, we have 7. We're not important at all in like the YouTube critique stuff at this point. And like I would never bother like even covering those types of videos from people, because I just like, yeah, you just don't have like a perspective that really matters in kind of this environment, you know? Like you're not saying their perspective doesn't matter at all, but like you know what I mean. It's just not really like something you need to worry about addressing. And this guy's like, I need to defend the movie from the like weird TikTok bros. Like, I don't know, defend it from like real people actually going in depth about why they don't like this movie.
I think I've explained very clearly why I don't like this movie, and I could explain it 1,000 times to 1,000 different people, because I have thought about it.
Well, no, James, look at the bottom of the screen. He is the law.
No, you're probably right.
It just had what I'm assuming is copyrighted music. That's why I didn't play the audio. But it's way more simpler. As you can see, these 3 gentlemen, I will call them, just to show an ounce of respect, just say, this is the worst movie of the century. Which is like, bro, what movies have you watched? Like, since the time you've been alive, which isn't long because you're young, just like me, what movies have you actually sat down and watched to just go ahead and say, oh yeah, this is the worst movie of the century? No, I'm not stupid. I know he's probably exaggerating. Still, that is a gross over-exaggeration and straight up just ridiculous. He then says, go watch Obsession, which I totally agree with. If you watch my review on Obsession, I loved Obsession. I thought it was an amazing movie. As a matter of fact, I think Obsession and Backrooms are neck and neck right there. Honestly.
Oh, that's the funny thing though, is on our scale, they're actually really close together. But
yeah,
if we're ranking it on like enjoyability, and like you're gonna have fun watching this, you're gonna want to think about this movie, Obsession is like
astronomically higher.
Yeah, it's like logarithmically higher on the mathematical scale of enjoyability. It creams Backrooms. It humiliates Backrooms.
Depending
I
on the
hope-
day, I could tell you.
I hope Kane Parsons never ever talks to Curry Barker so that Curry Barker cannot be muddied with Kane Parsons.
I don't know. Get Curry
Ability.
Barker to write the Backrooms movie. It would at least be
That's actually
interesting.
not a bad idea.
Even though it would probably have some major issues, because Curry Barker
Yeah, and cost a lot more money.
because Curry Barker isn't super experienced in writing. I actually, you know what? I've kind of come around on him. I think he is going to genuinely improve.
Curry Barker?
I think he's going to get even better at writing scripts, and I think they're going to be more
I hope so.
refined, and they're more they're going to have better cause and effect. They're going to flow better. I think I have a good feeling
I
about
hope
him.
you're right.
I hope I am
I
too.
believe in the dream.
One or the other is better. But the issue here is, look at them. Once again, just look at these dudes. Look at these dudes. Look how they look. Look how how conventional.
He's so
how
racist.
basic.
Wow,
Oh,
he's like,
God.
wow, these guys,
He's so racist.
these guys have broccoli haircuts, and they're young kids. Just look at them.
And they're minorities.
He's like, how could you have a movie opinion when you look like that?
You can't eat. You're only a quarter of a vote in any sense. He's just a villain.
Yeah, this guy's
Three
evil, dude.
fifths.
This guy's evil. I
He's
think this
really
is the point in
bad.
the video where I haven't seen the rest of it, so.
How simple. You have probably seen about 752 other guys like this, maybe not only in your school, but also just out in public. Anyways, let me not.
Okay.
You have the appearance of a normal person,
Wow.
but you are also a minority.
You guys look too normal. I have good movie opinions.
You aren't fat and covered in Dorito dust like me.
Like me and all the other great critics. God, I wish I
You
had some
haven't
Doritos
even-
right now.
You haven't even dressed up as Movie Bob for Halloween.
Oh God, what a horrible costume. You'd go outside and people would be like, "Oh my
I
God,
don't
you look
even
like you look
dress
just like that monster from YouTube." Did you hear about
You
Movie
look like
Bob?
Nor-
A couple years
What?
ago, his fucking can collection got knocked down by the wind.
He has a can collection?
Yeah, he had like a giant pyramid that he built out of soda cans that he drank over the years, and it got knocked over by the wind.
Oh no.
And
That's
he,
so
and
sad.
he lived in a basement. How did this happen?
Oh, what? I reckon it was knocked over by the wind of him walking upstairs.
Yeah, he walked past it. And...
It was his gravitational
Whoosh.
pull.
All right.
Elaborate on that yet. Let's go to the third and final video, because if I make any more, I'm probably gonna go crazy.
Backroom movie ass. That shit was horrible. Don't see it. Go watch Obsession because that shit was
We do not recommend. That shit was ass.
bad. Oh my god.
I love this, dude.
It's
Boring.
just dragging.
Snooze fest.
No, and
That's.
Or minority.
I actually love that video so much, dude. That's just how people think about movies. It's like very funny.
Yeah.
Like, God, that was boring. Go see this other movie. What do you think? What do you think his debunkment to this one's gonna be? Do you think he's gonna call them stupid and
I
say
think
that
he's
they
gonna
shouldn't
say they
watch
look
TikTok?
like normal- He's like, look at them.
They're too
Look at
normal.
the color of their skin.
Do you think?
How can you?
No,
trust their
seriously.
opinion?
His debunking is just gonna be these people are stupid and they should go play the Roblox games.
And he should kick their heads off.
All right,
in my
let's.
opinion, out of the 3 videos I just showed you, this is probably the worst of them.
What? How's
was
he
the
like?
best of them.
How's he like ranking these videos? I think
I would say that one was better.
that was better than the middle finger one.
Yeah.
They just held up a middle finger and didn't say anything.
Uh,
The worst? Okay, the ranking system, it goes... I actually think that one was the best one, and then the one where the guy's like, I played the Roblox games, and this wasn't anything like that. And then the lowest ranked one is the middle finger.
yeah.
This might be the final boss of an annoying piece of shit with no brain.
This is
Wow, dude.
not a good look. This is a bad look, bro. You can't be saying this
Annoying piece of shit with no brain. Listen, I know I said that about CinemaSins, but like that CinemaSins has been doing this for decades. He should have it figured out by this point. Those are just normal people who went to see a movie.
It's like he's like so offended. He's like, these movie critiquers, they look like normal people. It's like they're not critiquing the movie. They're just making stupid videos.
They're just saying what they think about the movie because they are entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
And like
No, you're not allowed to have
and
an
like
opinion.
if
You're
you
a
don't
minority.
if you don't want to engage with people who don't really think about the things they watch, which to be fair, I don't really, then just don't. It's optional. You don't have to.
Go fight the people on Reddit. Be a
Yeah,
keyboard warrior
go
instead of a
argue with
YouTube warrior.
the people who are like trying to actually have some kind of reasoned stance on a movie, or who are at least pretending to. These people aren't. They're just having fun.
Yeah. And they're making
Now,
good points. Go see Obsession.
They
not
are making
Backrooms.
good points. Go see Obsession, not Backrooms is actually goated advice.
at least in the first one, the first guy is a dumbass. There is no refuting that. But at least he tried to give some type of.
I think that guy's going to go on to be a very successful construction site foreman, and you need to show some goddamn respect, okay?
He's probably gonna make more money than us.
Yeah, he's going to make good money, dude.
Yeah,
Well, he's definitely going to make more than we make off this podcast.
that's for sure.
And I guarantee
Don't worry, dude.
he's making more than Rezix
This
in a
is the
few
video.
years.
This is the video that's gonna get us 1 trillion views.
So honestly,
we're gonna be billionaires.
what's the perspective that results in the more successful human beings? Is it, oh my god, the Backrooms is so artistically important? Or is it the people who are like, man, they was bored. I gotta get back to the job site now. And they
I
hop
could have
in
been making my money.
their lifted
know, I
Dodge
would-
Ram with dualies and drive off to the
They put their
the
high
build
vis
site.
vest on.
Yeah, they drive around with their high beams on, just blind everybody. Get to the work site. I just came from watching this stupid movie.
Now it's time to get back to my back-breaking labor.
Ain't nothing like being overworked and underbeard.
explanation. It was a horrible explanation. It had nothing, no
It's
points
not
to
an
go on.
explanation.
But at least he tried to say something. The second guy, well, I'm gonna assume he's just dumb enough that he knows he can't give an explanation, so he doesn't even try to.
Dude.
This guy is so unhinged. The only reason I say this kind of thing about CinemaSins is because it's his job to make videos about movies, and he's been doing it for like 15 years. This is like somebody like who's never played golf before goes out to golf and they don't do very well, and you're like, wow, you suck.
No,
You're
it's
terrible.
It's like a professional golf player going to like putt golf and just screaming at the little kid who's like there for their birthday. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yo,
"I took you 8
you're
hits,
doing it
you
all wrong.
piece of shit.
Exactly.
You have to hold it this way. Are you even aiming for the fucking hole?"
And meanwhile, on the other side, Tiger Woods is challenging him to a golf match, and he's just ignoring him.
Yeah. And
This
yes,
girl-
I think we could consider ourselves the Tiger Woods.
I think
Nobody else has
compared to this
standards
guy, I
anymore.
think we are Tiger Woods. All right.
Tried to say something. The second guy, well, I'm gonna assume he's just dumb enough that he knows he can't give an explanation, so he doesn't even try to. This girl, and not just her whole group, which again, going back to that theory, just look at them.
Bro.
This girl goes and says it was ass, it was.
This is. He's not beating the allegation.
he keeps
Every time I make a
he
joke,
keeps
he
hammering
keeps doubling
the
down.
he keeps hammering the look at them. Like
This is
Dude.
the most like this is people like this are the reason why people hate people who critique films because of how pretentious people are.
oh yeah, he's
like-
super fucking pretentious, man.
This is insane.
This guy's
You are-
ridiculous.
People like this need to be like when we made the joke about taking people's thinking license away. This guy should not have an internet thinking license.
Yeah,
It needs
not
to
because
get
he would
revoked.
like, not because he doesn't really
You
know
are
how to use it, but because he's using it for evil.
Yeah, he's just polluting the air
He
and hating on
he's
people.
using it to
And
just insult normal people who went to see the movie instead of
he has
insulting people
not
whose
said
this is their
any
job.
single thing about why this movie is good yet. He has only said it is art, and look at these people.
I don't
Their
think he's
appearance
I don't
is
think
so
he's going
normal.
to. And that's part of why I selected this video, because I think it will form a very good narrative when we get to the last video in this arc. All right.
A snooze fest, and yet again that tagline, go watch Obsession. So let's dig into what I think are the main core issues with not just these 3 videos, but almost every single person hating on this movie. These people are brainwashed by modern culture. They are the type of people that Netflix is thinking of when they introduce that whole policy that, oh, we need to make shows that people can watch while they're on their phones.
So does he not think that movies like The Backrooms and movies like Obsession and all that are part of modern culture?
Oh, dude, they're only
Like,
#1 at the box office for the past
okay,
month.
this is one of my most passionate points in all of movie critique. People like to act like modern film is like slop and that old film is where all of like the great movies are. And I resent that. Old film, like the old way of doing movies, they played it safe all the time. Like there was tons of stuff you just weren't allowed to show, and if you showed it, people would have been like upset. People would have been upset if you had a movie about like a certain theme, right? Like a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once could never have been made in like the 80s or the 90s,
Yeah,
right?
not at all.
So I
And it was
actually,
a phenomenal movie.
yeah, I think there's more like ultra corporate slop, and there's more movies that are like complete nonsense nowadays for some reason. But there's also like the peaks of how good you can make a movie are
Mhm.
like actually so much higher now than they were in the
It's
80s.
like it's the same thing as like people saying that like kids are dumber nowadays. When like sure maybe there's a larger amount of stupider kids. However, there are some kids who are like Kane Pixels made a fucking multi-millionaire piece of media. I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about that his YouTube channel. And he started it when he was 16. Or all the kids who are starting like AI companies or yada yada. Or there's just like people are morons. People just everybody wants to the grass was greener. Everybody wants to
Yeah,
doom on the future
it's just like
is the
God, it was so
reality.
much better back then. When if you actually go back then, you'll realize like, oh, it's also bad
It's
back here as well. It's just a
yeah.
different kind of bad, maybe.
Yeah, it's just everybody wants it to be like it used to be. Even though it was the same when it used to be.
It's
Because you
because
forget
you
the
look
bad
at the
things.
past and you remember, yeah,
You
you
only
remember all the
remember
good
the good
things.
things.
Or like you talk to your parents who tell you all the good things, or you talk to like
Yeah.
your mentors and you're like, "Oh man, I wish I was alive back in the 60s."
You know what else happened in the 60s? There were no civil
The
rights. It
Vietnam
was right
War,
the Vietnam War, the
the
Cold
the
War,
war on drugs,
the war on drugs,
which you
JFK.
know what, someday we're going to
I don't
branch
even know
out of
when that
doing
happened.
films and we're going to talk about like other things. We got to do a war on drugs video. That would be fun.
That would be
That
fun.
would be really fun. Anyway, the little preview of the future.
These people are the type of kids, because most of them are kids, but don't be surprised because a lot of them are actually just young adults who cannot go through the day without using some type of AI informant at least 6 times a day. They cannot complete simple or answer simple.
It's comical considering that it sounds like your script was written by ChatGPT.
I don't think it definitely doesn't. ChatGPT would never be this
No.
mean.
I mean,
ChatGPT
like
would be
the
very.
points he's made. It feels like he's reading a script off of ChatGPT and then getting very angry at these children's YouTube videos
I think you're
or
reaching.
TikToks.
I think you're reaching because you're so upset with him. You just want to
I am
insult him on that
very
basis,
mad at
which I
him.
understand.
I don't care.
I completely understand. I don't think this doesn't sound. This sounds like it's coming from his heart, man. He really is just hates these kids. He just wants them dead.
Ding. We should give him a little dinger.
Better than
Questions without
CinemaSins.
a machine telling them what to say or
No.
do because they are
Yeah, this guy's 100% better than CinemaSins. This guy
At movie critique,
smokes
maybe. As
CinemaSins.
a person, this guy is just talking about how much
Well,
he wants to kick the heads off of
okay, I have
kids.
no idea how good or bad of a person CinemaSins is. I haven't a clue. This guy, yeah, he's just talking about how much he wants to kill children on like a public in like a public space.
I would wager that's much worse than anything CinemaSins has done.
Probably, yeah. But still, I think his video is better. I think this guy's video is better than CinemaSins' video.
That brain dead. Now, if you notice, they are dressed pretty casually. And apart from how they're dressed, they just look basic as hell. There is nothing interesting about them. Because this is what I like to call the popular kids syndrome. Now, in my personal experience, I have met some people that were actually interesting when I met them, but then they started, hanging out with people like this. And I guess the saying would be an angel lost its wings. In this case is somebody interesting lost their personality. People trade their
What?
personality. They trade the things they like and interesting things to just be a part of the wave, to be a part of the trend, a part of the group. They all dress the same, they look the same, they think the same, they speak the same. It is genuinely exhausting.
This is like an
Dude.
unhinged rant.
He.
I actually don't want to have this guy on the show at all because he's just gonna.
What an awful human being.
It's like, God damn, these popular kids don't like my favorite movie.
So this feels to me like an instance of someone was not popular in high school and is projecting on people who he thinks were popular in high school.
Yeah, and by the way, it's okay if you weren't popular in high school, but it's not okay
Yeah.
to like let that hate consume you.
You know what? You know what angers me slightly is everybody like hates on anyone who is popular in high school and just assumes that they were like automatically the worst person ever.
It's
Like,
just not true.
I know
Popularity has
we
no
had, like-
correlation with character.
We had like a very different high school experience than most people, but like the popular kids at our school, for the most part, other than being like severely autistic and weird, were like really good people. And they were popular because they were nice and everyone liked them.
Yeah. Like people get popular for all kinds of reasons. It has nothing to do with like if you're a good or
Yeah.
a bad person. It has to do with do you have charisma?
Like-
Do people want to be around
Yeah.
you?
Like the person that I'm thinking of, who you probably know who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Like they go to school still every once in a while to visit, and like the people cheer, the people, worship at the feet of him. And it's like it's not because he was this like political conniving person who needed to climb the social ranks. It's just because he's nice and people like him.
But this guy, he-
Resistance.
I think Resident didn't have a very good high school experience. And you know what? That's okay, but just don't let the hate consume you.
And obviously, since the Backrooms got so popular, especially in a place like Roblox where these people just fester, most of the people that were gonna
I'm actually like I'm
He
upset now because he put boobs in our video, and now I don't know if I have to censor those.
Are those boobs?
Yes.
That's a mannequin, is it not?
Well, they're mannequin boobs.
Oh.
genuinely
And now I need to remember. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna let it rip and see what happens.
exhausting. And obviously, since the Backrooms got so popular, especially in a place like Roblox where these people just fester, most of the people that were gonna watch it were people like this, which you might say is the wrong audience. Because for as popular as the Backrooms is, most of the people that know what the Backrooms is don't actually interact with the original series or even look into it aside from the first video. They take it all at face value. They don't look at the hidden meanings, at the lore, at anything. They just see, oh, Scary Place with the fucking Diddy PNG.
You didn't need to know any lore about the Backrooms to understand this movie.
No, not if people say that though. Like another thing that people end up telling you if you continue to critique this movie is they're just like, you just don't know anything about the Backrooms. You all know, blah."
Yeah, the movie is super simple. In fact, I can explain it right now. The Backrooms is an alternate dimension that reflects basically repeatedly getting more flawed memories of locations, of people, of basically anything possible. And in this scenario, the Backrooms are reflecting the psyche of Clark and the fact that he keeps going through the same like repetitive pathways in life until eventually he decides that he's no longer going to attempt to change, and then he is consumed by himself.
I wish that
There you
that
go.
very simple could be good story was actually done well,
Yeah,
but
like
it is not done well.
yeah, that's an interesting story, and I understand it. It's not that
I understand it
it's not
because
that
it's
crazy.
forced down my throat.
It's not that crazy. It really isn't. No, but you should have watched the entire YouTube series before you went to see this TikTok nerds.
He's following you. That's all they think about. And unfortunately, that is the big majority of the people that went to see this movie. That is the big majority of the reaction. Another part of my point that I want to touch into is that tagline. Again,
Okay, is this even correct? Hang on. I'm pretty sure this movie has like a really good Rotten Tomatoes.
Does it not? I mean, it did. It was the same as like
It's
Hereditary.
It's
when we went and saw it.
74% on Rotten Tomatoes. That means 74% of people said this movie was at least a 6 out of 10 or above. So no, it's not the big majority of people thought this movie sucked.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, but let the psycho rant. Let him spiel his untrue and very biased thoughts.
All right.
see Obsession. Now, somebody like me and somebody like almost any other person I know that has an intellect loves both of these movies. But why is it that these types of people love
I am so much smarter than you. and
Everybody
that's
I
why
know
I'm-
who has an intellect loves this movie. Jeez, dude.
I found the
okay.
opposite because no one can explain why they enjoyed the movie.
Listen,
why
I,
not
I,
why
I
they enjoyed the
found
movie,
you
but
can
why it's a
enjoy
good
this movie. You can be a smart person who enjoys this. You can be a dumb person who hates this. You can be a dumb person who loves this. And you can be a smart person who hates this. Any of the above could be true. But
I
none
consider
of that
myself a
has
dumb person who
none of
hates
that has
this.
anything to do with what actually happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is entirely what we are interested in. What happens in the movie? Let's talk about it. Let's see if it makes sense and is
it's
entertaining.
comical how little people can talk about this movie. Nobody can talk about the movie. We can just hate on each other. Nobody can have any kind of discourse that is talking about what happens or anything about it.
We go see Obsession, and we are like, well, this stuff happens in it, and this makes us think the idea of maybe simplifying Bear down into, oh, he's just an evil villain, kind of misses the point of what the movie's trying to tell us. And then people are like, oh, you would only say that if you yourself are evil. You're like, what are you talking about? First of all, not defending Bear at all. Second of all, the whole point
I
of
would
that
say we
is-
hate on Bear more than anyone. We have hours of content just hating on Bear.
We have like 7 hours of video worth on Obsession, a significant portion of which is spent hating on Bear, but because we don't say like, oh, that makes him the villain, people are like, so you guys are just evil rapists then. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not that.
These people.
But, you know,
Obsession
there's no
so
nuance.
much, but shit so hard on Backrooms? Well, it's quite obvious. It's pretty simple, might I add. And like I just said, Obsession is a simple movie.
Fuck off. Obsession is way
Obsession's
more
not
complex
a
than the
simple-
Backrooms.
Yeah.
Obsession has so many layers to it. There's so much to there's so much to talk about.
At any point, do they ever completely explain the movie?
No, there's
'Cause,
so
like,
much
that's
that's
all
left
the
open to
Backrooms movies.
interpretation. Whereas the Backrooms, like they're like, oh, because it's dealing with like a high concept in terms of another dimension, that makes it more complex. It definitely doesn't. Backrooms is super simple movie.
The Backrooms Kane pixel videos are still slop. It's not just the Roblox games that are slop. It's still 30-second videos that you watch to tickle your brain.
Yeah, the whole point of the
We can't,
Backrooms is that it was actually always super simple. You fall through the floor or you walk through a wall by accident and you end up in this crazy place and then you get killed by some kind of thing. It's always been super simple. Bad? No. Simple? Yes. Absolutely.
It is a simple premise, and aside from that, it is fast. It has really good. Well, it isn't scared to stop and go slow in certain places because, like I mentioned in my review, it is very good at making you uncomfortable. And to make you uncomfortable, it has to hang in those moments. You know, when shit that gives you secondhand embarrassment happens, it needs you to breathe it in, to really just smell it, take it all in. But that's about it. Every other scene, it's just always going nuts to butts. Something is happening, whether it's in the shop, going back to the house, going back to Bear, going back to this, going back to that. Nothing is never not happening. While the Backrooms is a lot slower. It needs set dressing. It needs to set up the situations the characters are being put into. You get to stool in that dread.
Well, you could have done all that while also having plot events taking place
Yeah.
and
These
dialogue
they
taking place.
he just doesn't understand the difference between a slow movie and a movie where nothing happens. And he's just assuming that because it was slow, it must be good.
He's
He
also
is the slop he tries to fight.
there's also like there's this weird all or nothing thought that people have. They're like, you're like, oh, this movie bad. They're like, oh, so you would rather it have been like the Roblox games? It's like, did I say that? I didn't say that, did I? Like, you could have still had a movie very similar to this with like tweaks and changes that would have been better. Like, maybe instead of Clark going into 57 rooms, he could go into like 37 rooms. And then we get some time back that we can use for other stuff. Maybe have Clark not go in there alone. Maybe have a few different characters who go into the back rooms and all have their own experiences.
Maybe literally anything. Any change to this movie most likely would have ended up with it being better.
Yeah. How well ultimately did you use your runtime? I watched something like The Bear season 3, which, by the way, new season of The Bear's coming out. We might be covering that. Ooh.
Potentially.
Click that subscribe button, notifications.
Very important show to my life.
But
I hate you.
I watched
You're the
season
worst.
3 of The Bear, and they're like, oh, we filmed too much, so we split it into 2 seasons, and then both seasons feel like both 3 and 4 feel very very empty, and they're very bloated. And then there's like 20 minutes worth of fact jokes in season 3 spread across all the episodes. It's like, man, we could have skipped those jokes and had a whole other episode to progress the story.
Yeah.
But because that dread is not a scary face constantly every 2 or 3 seconds, they don't like it.
Do people really want to see a horror movie that has a scary face constantly every 2 or 3 seconds? I'll bring it up again.
It would have been better than this one.
I'll bring it up again. Ari Aster, Robert Eggers, the 2 best horror makers still doing it.
Who's Robert Eggers again?
The Witch, The Lighthouse,
Witch?
Nosferatu.
Okay, yeah.
Like, those movies are super slow. Midsommar, super slow.
They aren't smart enough to understand.
But they
it.
use their runtime well. They're paced the way that they're paced for a very good reason.
They just have to
I
sit
hate
on
this.
TikTok because their brain just can't handle it. It's too boring for them. They might fall asleep.
Oh,
Obsession
he's
is an
done,
amazing
bro.
movie. In my opinion,
How'd he get
a
away?
masterpiece. But it is a simple movie. Now, that is not to knock on it, because simple movies can work. That's why Obsession worked so well. In my opinion, Backrooms is the complete opposite of Obsession. It is a slow
it's
movie
trash.
that leaves you to interpret things. It doesn't say
It leaves you to interpret things. It doesn't say everything. Stop it.
Literally
Stop.
5 minutes ago, you said they literally told you the plot and you don't understand it.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? Here, let's run that back.
In my opinion, Backrooms is the complete opposite of Obsession. It is a slow movie that leaves you to interpret things. It doesn't say
There is nothing to interpret in this story. If you say there is anything, you are a moron and you are grasping at straws to defend this movie. This movie has nothing of substance. The plot is explained to you more than one time in the same monologue. It is portrayed in a way that is mocking art. That's what this movie is. It is a mockery of what movies are supposed to be. And that's why these people like it, because they aren't smart enough to understand that it is a mockery of what a good movie actually is.
Hang on. All right, let's be nice here. I don't think these
I'm
people...
tired of being nice.
I don't think these people are stupid. I just don't think they are...
I think that this person
I don't
is
think they
incredibly
are
stupid.
as... And this is ironic considering this is a new podcast, but like, we have spent so many hours learning to understand movies that we hear a monologue like is in the movie and we recognize it immediately for what it is as a statement of the theme. A lot of other people don't do that. So they just like they're
Just
left with the belief that the movie is open to interpretation, even though if you go and read the script, you will realize very quickly that there's kind of only one interpretation that you can take from
just
it.
for clarification, when I say that these people are stupid, I don't mean that they are like dumb people. I mean they have not thought about this. They have not sat down and actually thought about what they're saying. They're just saying stuff. Like this is like the true this video is the truest interpretation of someone just saying things.
They're
There's
glad
there's
they're
no
glad that these movies did better than Disney. This is like because crack took PCP off the streets by being more popular, crack is great. It's like now hold up. Right? Just
I'm letting him get to me. I can't handle this. I can't.
this is some
I'm
pretty
too weak
this
for
is some
this.
pretty high level rage bait.
Everything directly in your face because it wants you.
I want to hear that again
Essentially,
actually.
It is a slow movie that leaves you to interpret things. It doesn't say everything directly in your face because it wants you to figure it out.
Yeah, that's the statement I disagree with most. It doesn't say everything to your face because it wants you to figure it out.
The first monologue that explains the theme is like the second scene in the movie.
And then they just do rephrasings of it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And then he says we don't need to change and he gets eaten because he's being devoured by his own negative aspects. I've seen this movie one time. I didn't even rewatch it. I usually watch all the movies we cover here at least twice. I watched Mandalorian and Grogu twice.
And obviously because some elements of the movie will be touched on in the future in the YouTube series. But that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is we are cooked, not only as a generation, but as a species. We have reached the point where...
Wow, people don't like this movie I like. That means the human race is done.
I told you, dude, they're just morons.
You know,
They're just doomers.
At least he isn't overreacting. I will say that.
I'm overreacting. Well,
At
am I
least-
overreacting?
At least he isn't
This guy did say he
overreacting.
wants to kick a kid's head off, so...
No, I was being sarcastic.
No, I mean, I'm saying, am I overreacting? I consider... Now, I'm the defender of the kids.
Yeah, I'm
Leave
defending
the kids
small
alone.
children from him who's going to genuinely, like, assault them.
He's like... I feel like I'm Obi-Wan, and he is Anakin.
What does
Except
that
he
make
was
me,
not the
Padme?
chosen one. Yeah, you're Padme.
Oh man, I get to get choked.
You're pregnant.
we need AI to dictate our every single move when it comes to anything we do in our daily lives.
It's all got to be about
And this
AI.
has caused our brains to devolve to such a point where if we watch a movie and it doesn't spoon feed you everything you need to know multiple times,
Oh, but it
by
does,
making
though.
every
It does, multiple times, yeah.
single theme the easiest thing to understand ever, it is instantly a 0 out of 10 and the worst movie of all time. It is truly embarrassing that I have to call myself a part of this stupid ass generation and, to be honest, this human race. It is...
He's embarrassed to be a human. Because some high
Pity for
schoolers
him
didn't
because
like
we
the
are
Backrooms.
rats.
Oh yeah, you're right, dude. I guess
Yeah,
we
that's
should.
wh-
I
that-
guess the
maybe
rat
that's why we're
race
not
is
getting rage baited.
the rat race is cooked.
absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I can't keep going with this. Honestly, I'm just gonna keep ranting for hours. If you watch this all the way through, thank you so damn much. I appreciate it more than you
No
can
worries,
imagine.
dude.
If
No
you
worries.
disagree with me, if you want to add on to my points, or you have your own points you want to make, leave it in the comments. I read everything and I answer everything.
Answer this. Answer it.
Yeah.
For the record, we
We
don't
should
don't
comment.
think you're actually going to attack children. That's not the allegation we're making. The allegation
You
we're
did
making
say it though.
the allegation we're making is that you are responding to the wrong people. This is like
And you are creating slop.
it's a what is it called? It's not exactly a straw man, but it's similar. Like when you debunk the worst arguments against your point and conclude that you have therefore debunked the entire like opposition to you, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's not a straw man.
Here.
It's different, but I don't know what it's called. I don't remember.
Ad hominem, the false dilemma, presenting a complex situation is having only two alternatives and ignoring other potential. He is doing
I mean,
that.
he
He
is
is
kind of
doing a
doing
false
that.
dilemma.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so you just wanted it
False
to be
cause,
Roblox.
concluding that appeal to popularity. He's doing that too, kind of. The slippery slope. It's not that one. Appeal to ignorance. Uh, why are these the only ones that are listed? What? There are more than this, though, are there not? There's a bunch of them.
There's a ton, but you probably just it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying. You understand. And so do the viewers.
Yeah.
So, well, that was interesting, right? He's
That was something.
sort of debunking all these people who are like oh, I just wanted I wanted the movie to be like Roblox, you know. I didn't understand what was going on and all that. Those people who aren't like serious critics, they're just minding their own business, right?
Yeah.
But is that true? Maybe not, because the final video we're going to react to today is a video of one of those people making a real attempt at a Backrooms movie review. This is the depressed ginger, and his video is called "The Backrooms Movie." The Backrooms movie kinda sucked. All right.
Depressed ginger.
So
the last guy had 700
Well, ladies and
subscribers.
gentlemen, this
So
who is the depressed ginger?
you might.
Oh, he is.
Well,
he
ladies and
is much
gentlemen,
more
this-
fame.
What are you playing the video over and over again?
No, that was you.
well,
it was.
ladies and
It was not me. It's just watched together. It's just being extremely cringe.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna mute this. We're gonna mute it for a second, so that we can talk about this beforehand. You might think, you know, he agrees with us. You know, we have the same perspective on this movie. We both don't like it, and while that is true, you're about to find out that there are multiple ways to not like a movie, and we disagree with people who are on our side plenty of the time. So we're gonna watch this video.
Is it doing the funny thing again? Here.
well, ladies and gentlemen,
Here we
this
go.
past weekend I saw Backrooms. It's a new horror film that was directed by a 20-year-old. Everyone's talking about it. It's all the rage. Not everyone likes the movie. I'll give my opinions on it. But 3 weeks ago, I mean, I've seen the opening of the past three movies. Obsession, that was, what was that, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Last week it was Passenger, and this week it was Backrooms. And so I give Obsession probably about a 4.5 out of 5 star. Great movie, amazing horror movie. The best horror movie in terms
That's like a 9 out of 10. That's a really high rating.
Yeah.
Which I
Yikes.
don't agree with, unfortunately.
of being tense and being scared in a theater that I've felt in terms of visceral emotion probably within the past 5 or 6 years. I mean, maybe going back to one of the Conjurings, it's been a while in terms of how much that movie made me uncomfortable. That's what I would say in terms of Obsession, the type of watch it is.
That's a weird like thing to compare. Obsession and like one of the Conjurings. In terms of like which Conjuring movie scared him bad enough that Obsession was the one to ultimately top it.
Maybe he's one of the people that thinks like Bear or Nikki was actually possessed by a demon.
Yeah. That is possible. That is possible. And like this guy's a real reviewer of movies. He's not some guy on TikTok, so
Passenger was really bad. I expected it to be really bad based off of what people were saying, but last week it was not good. And honestly, it suffered from a similar problem that Backroom suffered from in terms of its main villain, the demon, was just not scary, or not scary enough to make the movie worthwhile and to actually be horrified of it and be tensed up. And then coming into the Backrooms, I was figuring it was going to slot somewhere in between Obsession and Passenger. And I guess it does, because I would say Passenger is about a 1.5 out of 5 for me in terms of stars. Backrooms is probably about a 2 out of 5. and that is very controversial. So I'll
That's
say a
still
few
not
different
that
things.
bad.
Just
Well, he gave it a 4.
Yeah.
A 4 is
That's like
definitely a bad movie. I would give it a 5.
yeah, I'm not saying I would give it lower, but I'm a hater.
What would you give it? What's your reference for lowering it?
I'd give it a 3. The plot doesn't make sense. It's not something that would happen in reality.
What doesn't make sense about it? There's a couple things that are like kind of flawed.
Clark doesn't act like a normal person at all. Why does he not run? Why does the therapy lady go
Okay,
in there?
you got to
Why
remember.
doesn't she
You got
leave?
to remember for the reference of the scale. The Boys season 1 is a 5.
I only watched the first episode and I hated it. I don't like
Yeah,
the boys.
exactly. So you can put them on the same level. That's the point.
No,
The
I
boy
like
season 1 of
the
the
boys
Boys.
more than the Backrooms.
I definitely enjoyed it more, but it makes less sense. It's a 5. It does as much bad as it does good.
What does this movie do good?
The sets are kind of cool. The
But that doesn't have
cinematography
anything to
is
do with the
good.
writing.
There's
It doesn't have
decent.
anything to do with the story.
There is a little bit of decent character work, and then
Yeah, that's
like
skipped over and showed to us at the end of the movie.
yeah, but it's there, and there isn't really any like bad character work.
And
There's
also,
just
I
an
give it
absence of it.
most of my hate from this movie comes from the people talking about it. It just makes me
Well,
hate the
okay,
movie more.
your
So I am
subjective rating
extremely
can be
biased.
different, but on like the objective scale, I defend this movie as a 5.
I'd have to watch it. Well, actually, I don't need to watch it again. It's not real. They're plant people, dude. They're plant people. It's the same plant people trope that every horror movie does. You must have your people act like weird, non-existent people for the plot to continue. Therefore,
I'm resuming the video.
as prerequisites before I even get into the plot, and it is going to be spoilers and whatever, yada yada yada. But I do feel like now more so than ever, and maybe this is just because I'm older and I'm watching more movies, people are obsessed and they almost fangirl over directors. And there's a 20-year-old director. It's almost like no matter what happened with this film, the context of it and the way it was portrayed, people were going to like this movie. People
I
are going to
agree
compare
with
this
that.
movie, the box
Yeah,
office, the amount of
I
money
can
it
see
brings
it.
in, to Obsession. And of course, Obsession had 1/100th of the hype. This movie was originally a YouTube series. I have seen a lot of the Backrooms clips. I thought some of the creatures.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying here, that the reason Backrooms is doing so well is because of its virality,
Yeah,
whereas
100%.
Obsession obtained virality just like by being released.
Uh-huh.
It's not
Because
riding
it
on
was
like
awesome.
a trend. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it just has really good
I,
word
I
of
agree
mouth.
with that.
Were pretty freaky in the clips on YouTube. They weren't all by the director that made this film, but you can kind of understand if they made them scary, it would be very interesting. And this movie just misses the mark. Now, in talking about the movie, the first thing that people will tell, you know, the ones that like the movie, this is the exact same thing that happened with the movie Us from 2019, which I think is the worst movie in history, or at least one of. It's the worst movie I've seen in theaters.
Wait,
I don't know what
They'll
wait,
happened
come
what?
in with the
movie.
normie cope, and I've seen this online with a lot
Normie
of
cope.
YouTubers. They'll say, well, you just didn't get it. And they'll try and be all philosophical, and they'll say, well, you just love normie tier slop, and you can't have patience. You want to know the most ironic thing is that most of the people that liked this movie, they're all 13-year-olds. When I went into the theater, and everyone else knows, on Friday, Saturday, there were rows and rows of 15-year-old kids. The fans of this movie are all 15. So all these adult critics who say
I don't agree with this.
I actually think that a lot of the people, most of the people who like this movie are younger.
I don't know if that's
I
true
would
though,
agree with
because
that.
like every single YouTube video made by like a 20-year-old on this movie is positive. And like a lot of the people
That's
who
what I'm
don't like
saying,
this
yeah.
movie are the TikTok generation.
Oh, I was saying that they're one and the same. Like a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. We're the same generation. Like
Oh yeah,
we're the
well
same group of people.
there's
I would
no
say they're
like there aren't
much.
like 40-year-olds going to see this movie and being like, "Wow." You know? It's the same thing as
Yeah.
horror always. Horror is always going to be like the young people's genre.
Yeah.
Boomers don't watch horror movies. They don't.
It's silly to say that, to like generalize who's liking this movie based on age, because it varies a lot. Like most of the people I know who like this movie were kids, or like the oldest person is like 25.
I don't know, I just think this is kind of like
It's just a silly.
it's just
Like we're
not
not adding
important.
anything.
It's
Yeah,
like the
it's
last
not
video. We're
important
not
at all.
adding anything to the discussion by refuting the 15-year-olds on TikTok.
You just didn't get it. The armies that like this movie are like 12 years old. So save me the philosophical, holier than thou, you're not smart enough to understand what's going on. You got to save me that. Because many of us, when we watched Inception for the first time, we didn't know 70% of what was going on, 50%. Even you watch it second, third time through, we can still say it's a good movie. So the idea that, oh, it's just you didn't understand it, so that's why you think it's bad, it's complete crap. And I'll go through this movie, and I will say, I thought the movie was decent towards the middle. Looking at the main character, who was Clark, he was likable. I think
Was he likable? I don't like him.
I think that you're supposed to not like him.
I-
That's the point.
I didn't like
You're,
him. I thought he
like,
was
from the
lame.
first scene when he is role playing, yelling at his wife. I don't think you're supposed to like him.
I didn't care
Why do you
about him
like
at all.
him?
He went into the back rows. I was like, he's gonna die in here, and I don't care at all. I only
I
cared about
what was his name? Bob?
I cared about
don't
I cared about boy and girl, who
Yeah,
he
boy and
forced
girl.
to go into the back rooms with him, and they died because of it. Those are the only people in
Yeah.
this movie I cared about. But even so, they still kind of went in there of their own accord. So
Uh
if they die, they essentially asked for it.
huh.
actor did a good job portraying him, and we were following his story, and we were almost rooting for him in terms of his story and his life circumstances. He starts exploring the back rooms, that first initial buildup. I will say, the first intro scene that was like separate of the actual story of Clark lasted 2 minutes too long, and I knew that it was going to be a problem. And of course, people come in with the gaslighting of, you have TikTok brain. No, the scene dragged on, and it made it not scary. That's the problem. That was that first scene where it's like, the found footage, but it's just like, you gotta get
He's
to
really
a point,
bad at
otherwise
explaining
it gets
stuff.
I don't even know how long that scene was. That
It was like
opening,
8 minutes long.
that intro scene was like the least of this movie's problems.
Yeah.
I was still kind of like, after it ended, I was still kind of like, oh, this is kind of silly, but it might be fun, And then we got to the therapy stuff, and I started rapidly losing investment.
Yeah.
if you drag it on, the viewers become frustrated and they lose a sense of tension. And there was no tension for me, even with the first jump scare, because it just dragged on and dragged on. And that happened a few times. And by the way, and I don't want to jump all over, but think about it. Clark goes back, he starts exploring the back rooms. It's cool. That was probably the coolest part of the movie, the initial, where everything's kind of different and we can understand.
No, that was the fucking worst part of the movie. Nothing was happening. He heard a crash and walked away. He
This video has
he just walked
put
off.
me into a trance. I'm so confused.
Well, let's keep it pushing.
It's like a different world where it misremembers things and things don't make sense. And it's all carpeting and it's all fluorescent lighting. And okay, I can understand that. That's unique. And then he brings the employees back there and they explore it. And I was kind of going along with it, and it was all right. But then he just almost gets, virtually killed off. We don't even know what happens to him. The next scene we see him, he's completely turned and he wants to stay in the back rooms. It makes no sense. We were rooting for him. Now we have to root for this therapist too. I don't think the
Why were we rooting for
We
him?
were rooting for him. Now we have to change our minds because he's crazy now.
What? Did he miss the what?
He's like, what is going on in Breaking Bad? We were rooting for Walt, and then he did all this stuff. Now we're not no more. What the hell?
I'm so confused.
I give this a
Were
2
we
out of 5.
Now I'm like questioning watching the movie. Were we supposed to root for Clark? Or
I don't
I
know.
now I'm confused.
It's
What?
it's very much the opposite of other movies where like it's kind of clear what the story thinks of their characters. I have no idea what this movie thinks about Clark.
That great of a job, and her character was very cold and just crass, and there was really no like.
She was
I don't really
crass?
care what happened to her. There was no
Wait,
involvement.
she was crass? Like, did she make a bunch of
I don't
dirty
think she was
jokes?
crass. No, she didn't make any.
Yeah, she like goes in the back room. She's like, "What the hell? This is like."
She was a really bad therapist.
I wouldn't call her crass. Like,
Bad at her job, yes. Crass, no.
imagine she goes in the
What?
back rooms and she's like, "What the foot? I just walked through a goddamn hole in the wall, and now I'm in." This place reminds me of the Devil's Ass Crack or something. Dude.
And they tried to do flashbacks to show her as a child, like, oh, she suffered this trauma, so now she's trying to help people. At least that's how I interpreted it as a therapist. But she was just a very cold.
Your movie's bad because your main character
Oh,
went through trauma.
she suffered a trauma and now she wants to be a therapist. He's just like making fun of all the like good aspects of this movie now.
I just don't understand. I don't. My brain ain't big enough. Maybe
I was
maybe this
rooting
is
for
the video. You
her.
have to be smarter to understand.
I was rooting for her way more than I was rooting for Man. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I wasn't rooting for any of them, but like on the scale,
I was rooting for boy and girl.
yeah, I was hoping they'd live because they seem like normal people, but they don't.
Personality, and she ends up being the lead protagonist after Clark makes this turn to where he wants to stay in the back rooms, and it's just how about the other thing, and I knew this was going to happen. I actually predicted it in my head, and as I was watching.
I'm actually pretty smart.
I predicted it in my head.
It's like when we were watching The Prestige.
Oh,
I
God.
predicted all of this all along.
Yeah, we were joking about him actually duplicating himself, and then he actually was.
I don't understand.
She
why
enters the
people
back
like it.
rooms, which, by the way, is through an invisible wall. That's real.
It's definitely not an invisible wall.
I'm so confused.
It's extremely visible.
I don't think this guy isn't real.
If
I
it was
don't
an
believe
invisible wall, it would have done the opposite of what it did in the movie. You would have been able to see through it and not walk through it.
It was an invisible door.
I think
an invisible gateway, you could say.
His choice of words, not so good.
Creative. Okay, maybe I'm being a hater there, but come on.
It's because he's a ginger.
So she
They have
enters
no
the back
souls.
rooms,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, they're going to make us sit for 5 minutes and watch her explore all the same things that Clark already explored. And that's
That is true.
exactly what happened. The people that like
true.
this movie, that is an
It's really funny though that he's like, I actually predicted that she would walk through the back rooms.
infuriating 5 minutes that's just completely destroys the flow of the entire film. I don't know how, like, there is no way we should be sitting, and there were several scenes like that where it's like, I can telegraph, there's no way you're gonna make us sit and watch this lady go through all these areas. And it's literally, we have to watch her going down the entire hallway. One step. And it's not like, by the way, another thing, scores make horror movies, just movies in general. I love scores. I'll listen to scores on playlists. That's really a lot of the music I listen to. Horrible score.
That's like
This is
your favorite kind of music is horror movie scores. Huh?
No, the crazy part of this is he just said scores make horror.
I mean, they're
He's
important.
saying that your
Yeah.
horror should rely on your music, which is the opposite of what we say, which is that it is really bad when you're scared depends on the music being dramatic.
Yeah, like I really
Like this movie.
I
does.
really like the use of certain music cues in certain scenes in certain movies. But unfortunately sometimes like the movie is like the jump scare is the music. Like that we were talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That happens a lot in that movie. Like you'll just open a closet and there's that stupid little doll and the camera zooms in on it, and there's like a really loud soundtrack, ding, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? You're just bullying us for some reason.
And it's
Man.
funny because I saw someone in a review say, I loved the score. And at that point, it's just like, okay, we just have completely different tastes. Because it's like, I can't even remember a memorable note or a memorable time in the movie where the score helped the tension.
I agree, but from the completely different direction where I thought the score was excessive and it was kind of stupid how much the movie was relying on it. And then I came to the conclusion that it adds nothing to the tension. He's saying like it never did anything.
I've never heard someone not like a movie because they don't like the music in it. So I'm like, this guy just keeps surprising me. I just keep getting like thrown.
I like his face right now. I like this pause that we're on. His anger. Let the hate flow through you.
Yeah, dude. People really just be hating.
It was very underwhelming in terms of the music, the background music. But yeah, then she explores, and it just drags on and on. And everyone was saying the second half of the movie wasn't as good as the first half, and that's kind of why, because the first half was more exploratory.
I think the second half pretty much dominates the first half.
Because nothing happens in the first half at all.
Like, okay, what's the end of this movie? We get the dinner scene, which I think is the best scene. Then we get the chase, which is, it's not great, all right? But like something's going on. And then we get the government, or we get Async showing up, which is like, okay, what the hell? Right? That's the end of the movie versus the first half of the movie is walk from room to room. And now we're going to go in another room, and guess what? This room has the exact same shit in it that the last room did.
But it's shaped slightly differently.
And now we're going to go to the next room.
Oh, look, there's a door to the next room.
Look at Clark, dude. Look at him. He's looking around and he's creeped out. Look at him. You see his face?
It is just so, like, every clip I've seen from the actual backroom stuff is somebody like freaked out and like trying to figure out how to get out and like frantically running through this maze.
Yeah, because they just teleported into it somehow.
Yeah, this is just guy walks through room to another room and then leaves and then comes back and does it again.
And then the worst part is that he hears a terrifying noise that something else is in the back rooms with him, and he just turns around and walks away at the exact same pace. And then as he's running out, quote unquote running, he just starts very lightly jogging to the door. It's like, oh man. The previous video was called The Backrooms Movie Proves We Are Devolving. Yeah. I devolved a little bit during that hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think I got a little bit stupider.
I reckon my kids aren't going to turn out quite as well.
Following an actual story of Clark. You were rooting for him. I liked the actor. He does a good job. I've seen him in other things. And okay, we can understand it. It looked like it was getting to be to a point. But then he gets lost, and the next scene we see him, and now we're forced to root for this cold therapist. And now Clark wants to stay back there, and you have the misremembered people back there who all are deformed, and I just didn't really think that was scary. Like the pirate who's...
You cannot think it's scary. I didn't think it was scary. I said I didn't think it was scary, but that's not exactly like an argument.
Yeah, like that's one of those things that I don't really know how to critique the scariness of a movie because
it's very subjective, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more subjective.
I've seen horror movies that I didn't think were particularly scary that I also thought were like good movies. And then vice versa. I've seen horror movies that I thought were pretty scary, but then like on reflection, like Boogeyman, the Stephen King Boogeyman movie that we went and saw back in the day.
That movie was bad.
Like that movie, it gets you the first time. It's pretty creepy the first time, and then you go back and watch and you're like, wait a minute, this is ridiculous.
We should have made a video on that. Maybe we should watch it again.
I don't know. It's been a while, and I don't know if that movie's really notable enough to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue.
Clark, but he's misremembered. It just is not scary. It's like the Passenger movie, the demon thing. If it's not scary, it's hard. And that's why I said it's hard to say this is a horror movie. And honestly, some people that got scared during this movie, do you watch any horror movies? This was not a very scary movie.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if anybody was actually scared watching this.
I know people who got scared.
What were they scared of? What was the scary part?
I mean, I was scared, but that's not because it was scary. It's because I'm a bitch. The killer sofa scared me.
Can't believe that happened, man.
Dude, I can't handle scary movies. I am a jumpy little squirrel. Well, I actually am a rat, but
Yeah.
I share many qualities with squirrels.
I'm
They
not
just
really
spook.
sure.
I get spooked.
I'm not really sure how that. What about Troll 2? Was Troll 2 scary?
Kinda. It got like very slightly scary.
What about
It's the
Birdemic?
least scary of horror movies I've seen. Birdemic was not scary. Birdemic, I wanted to kill
But
myself and then I laughed
the
for
movie's
an hour.
literally called Birdemic Shock and Terror.
That's true. That was pretty terrifying, that part.
That's the scariest
But
part. Was the
other
name.
than that, it wasn't very scary.
I would be concerned if you went into an actual scary movie. And I don't say that to be condescending. This was just not a scary movie. And the movie really doesn't even try to be a scary movie. People, they say, well, it's eerie and but you have to set the tone to make people uncomfortable. The music was not there to make me uncomfortable.
It was definitely there, and it made me uncomfortable, just in a different way.
Yeah. I do think that everything should have been more uncomfortable. Yeah, I think that definitely would have. Everything needed to be more distorted and more, the flumps should have been much more distorted and uncomfortable to look at than they were.
I guess they were
And
uncomfortable to look
the
at.
Manster should have as well.
I
Like,
like
the
the
Manster
Manster.
wasn't that.
I liked
I
him.
like him, but
I
you
think
could have made
he's-
him much more like gross looking.
I think
right?
he-
You
I
could have
think
made
he
him
should
more
have-
uncomfortable to view.
I think he should have looked exactly the same, but they should have used him more effectively. I'm stretching. Oh,
Well,
my
yeah, they.
muscles. Oh, it feels so
I agree,
good.
but from the perspective of if you wanted to make the movie more uncomfortable, those are some instant cheat
No.
codes that would have made it
A lot of
a little
times
bit more uncomfortable.
Making the monster
also coulda
look
just written a
scarier
good
actually
story.
makes them less scary, I've noticed. Sometimes it's just like something that doesn't look scary at all can be pretty terrifying. It's more
Like an 120-pound woman who's
Yeah,
obsessed
exactly.
with you.
It's mostly about how you use it, less so about like what the actual thing is.
It's not the size of the scary monster; it's how you use it.
She calls it the scary monster.
Not anything close to Obsession. And people compare this movie to Obsession, and it's like comparing Obsession to Moneyball. It's like, I mean, they're completely different movies. I wouldn't even characterize this movie as a horror. I think they did it to make money off of the horror genre, honestly. I think it's like a mystery, suspense, maybe. But when the pirate Clark with the
I'm not even gonna
bootleg
respond to
starts
that.
chasing her, I mean, is that supposed to be scary? I don't see it. I mean, it's preference, I guess. Maybe some people were scared by that. But I'm really not even rooting for this woman. And
Yeah, okay. You
I
can
hate
tell like
women.
how this video is basically just like, oh, people said this was scary? Nah. Like this
Yeah, there's nothing really. This is like a hard video to talk about, just because there's not really anything to. He's just like the difference. Because the last video was somebody just saying stuff too, but at least that guy was so unhinged that we could make fun of him.
Well, I'm pretty sure in the next 6 minutes this guy is gonna say some pretty funny stuff about
Uh-oh.
this movie.
Well, let's get ready.
then it
He
ends,
just-
and people were complaining about the ending, and people were saying, well, there's going to be a part 2, so this was just kind of the introduction. And that, to me, that kind of just
people say that.
says that the movie wasn't very good.
Yeah.
If you're going to use the cope of, oh, it was just an introduction. Yeah, but it's an hour and a half, hour 40, hour 50. Was it an hour 50? Standalone movie. So it's used as an introduction. And I would be shocked if the second and the third and the fourth variations did anywhere close to as good as this one, because I don't think this is going to be received great.
Well, that's sort of a
If they let us
complicated
write the
thing.
second one, it'd be great.
Because I still think the second and third ones, if they make them whatever, I think they will definitely make a lot of money. Because this movie is pretty cheap to produce, and like there's a pretty dedicated fan base of people who like this movie and would like to go see another one.
Yeah, like this
But it's not going to do
Backrooms
as
right now
well.
is sitting almost at 200 million. The next one will probably, I bet it'll push 100, but I don't think
Yeah.
it'll make the same amount of money.
There will be a lot of people who went to see the first one and were like, "Wow, that was super boring," and aren't going to go see the next one. And then there will
Yeah.
be a lot of people who are like, "I love that," and go see the next one.
hmm
But we'll see. You know,
I
that's
mean,
the
it's got a
future.
74%. I'm guessing this is going to go down. Now, look, everyone has their own preferences when it comes to these movies, but to me, it just feels like, especially with a movie like this, the industry that was coming off Obsession, everyone was excited. It's another YouTuber, and even you look at some of these YouTube reviews, there's just this inability to criticize anything. And so many of these YouTubers just herd to the mean to where they just rate everything. It's like, where's the actual opinion on what you just watched? Like, so much of it.
I don't know. A lot of people have opinions on this movie.
Yeah. I also think this video is it's like one of the memes of you were so close, but you just didn't think.
Yeah.
You were so close to like making
Yeah.
good points every single time, and then you end it on a bad note.
Yeah. Like, did he just watch the Chris Stuckman video and he was like, "Oh, so that's what the entire perception of this movie is?" It's like, yeah, dude.
Did Chris Stuckman make a Backrooms video?
Chris Stuckman makes videos on every single movie that gets released.
Oh,
Like he's
we
that
should have watched
prolific.
that one.
Definitely not. Like, if we're interested in hearing people's opinions on things, no. Chris Stuckman, like, notoriously spends 5 minutes. Like, he makes a 5-minute video. He spends 3 of it talking about the director and what they've done in the past. And then he spends 1 of the minutes being like, "I think this movie is all right and you should go see it." And then he does the last minute, he plugs all his other stuff.
It is like hedging to where
He's notoriously awful compared to like Jeremy Johns, who also does videos on every single movie that comes out that are like 8 minutes, and he actually has an opinion. And I like going and watching Jeremy Johns videos because, like, even though he's not the best, you know, he has like takes where you're like, "Oh, that's a bad take," or "That's a good take." There's still something.
Yeah.
So I respect Jeremy Johns. Unlike Stuckman, I have no respect for Stuckman. All right.
I didn't think they did this great, but everything else was great. And it's like, I'm not even getting any usefulness out of this review. So to me, and listen, I went into the movie, I said, I think this movie is going to be pretty good. This is a cool concept. I've seen it on YouTube. I am Gen Z. I mean, I guess I'm older Gen Z. But like this whole pretentious bullshit of, "Oh, you just didn't understand it." They started doing that. All these big YouTubers, when normie people were like, "Yeah, this is not very good," and you're going to market something as a horror, we would expect to be scared a little bit, especially the second half of the movie when they basically, to a degree, they make you follow a different character who's really not nearly as likable. And they gaslight us and they say, "Well, you just didn't understand it." Meanwhile, the entire audience.
Well, that's the funny thing, man.
So-
They're right about you.
The funniest part is the video before, we have a guy who is like accidentally being so racist. This guy's just like, "God damn it, I have to watch a woman do Backrooms in."
I think that is a little bit. It's a little bit of a reach to say that. It's less of a reach to say that the last guy was racist.
I got long arms.
But it is funny that he's like, "God, I really like the guy who was an alcoholic
And yelled at his wife.
who yelled at his wife and got kicked out of his house and lives at a
That's the backbone
furniture
of
store.
America right there.
I hated that
An
stupid
alcoholic
therapist
business
lady.
owner.
You want me to root for her?"
She isn't nice.
What the hell?
That
She's
likes
all
this movie.
crass and stuff.
She doesn't even. She needs to smile more.
Be less
He's
crass.
made up of 13-year-olds. Okay. The 13-year-old Aristotle is going to tell me why this movie is so deep.
I'm thinking of the kid who's like, "I've played the Roblox games. This wasn't anything like that.
The
I don't even know what was
13-year-old
going
Aristotle,
on."
dude.
It's like, but that's what always happens with these movies where they start coping. And look, I'm not, if people can like it, that's fine. I mean, people say it's suspenseful, they say they like the score. We obviously have different tastes. That's all I'm going to say about that. Everyone can like whatever movie they want. That's fine. And I think these movies are more fun to talk about when people have disagreements in terms of taste, because we can all agree that Obsession was a great movie. We can all agree that, or, you know, most people say Passenger was not a good movie. It was just like a normie tier horror that is like a flick that you see in theaters, and it's pretty typical in terms of the modern time. But Obsession was completely different. And I mean, people comparing Backrooms to Obsession, I don't see a comparison. I mean, one is legitimately scary. The score is amazing, intense the entire second half.
Why did you just pause the video and then say nothing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my mic just randomly cut out. It did, remember the technical difficulties? It did that, and I just got like a wave of fear. But I think it cut.
Hey, talk.
Everything's fine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Dude, my heart, I got more scared than watching the actual movie, dude. Oh, that
It
scared the
was funny.
shit
You
out of
just
me. I was like,
paused the
it's
video
over.
like you were gonna say something and then didn't say anything.
That
Second
scared
half of
me.
the movie. This one was just really slow, very slow in the second half. And again, they'll
He
try
kind of
and
sounds like
gaslight
Trump.
and listen.
He kind of sounds like Trump, doesn't he?
The movie.
It was
Let me
very
tell ya,
slow, very
I think
slow in the
Clark was a
second
great guy.
half.
Everybody says that Clark's a bad guy.
They wanted me to root for what's her name, the therapy lady. They wanted me to root for her. I said no, no.
Say,
The
like,
back
you've
room,
got
they were
TikTok
just too
brain or
slow.
Reddit brain or whatever. I mean, the
There are
vast
too many
majority of
rooms.
people that like this movie are kids. Which honestly, I have no clue how that's possible. If I was 16 and watched this movie, I would make fun of it. But listen,
What? Well, yeah,
and it's
obviously.
like the other thing is the entities, the misremembered people, they're just not scary enough. There's really, you could understand like a few of the chase scenes maybe.
Say
when
something
the
of
employee gets
value.
lowered down. That's
We're
a cool
13
concept.
minutes in.
He just said like it's not scary and it's slow. Whereas, yeah, we've said that, but we've also said about a billion other things.
Yeah,
So-
we made a multiple hour-long
You
video.
made a
talking
2 hour
about
long video
our
talking
problems
about the
with it.
whole movie. It's longer than the movie by a small amount.
But there was really nothing expanded onto that. And then the girl employee, I don't even know if we know what happened to her.
She died. We found her head.
Her head was
He
in the
had her
fridge.
head in
Her
his
head was in the
fridge.
fridge. We don't even know what happened to her.
What?
Oh, there.
I
there
didn't
it
even
is.
understand. What was the plot even?
Whatever happened to that Clark guy? I liked him. We don't even know
Then
what
even
happened
the
to
end of
him.
the movie, it's like they misremembered the woman, and it's like that's the twist. And I mean, people are like, "That's awesome. It makes you think." Yeah, I don't know. But either way, guys, to me, the Backrooms, I
love
would give
this
it a 2
guy.
out of 5. I don't think it was very good. And even if you want to say, well, it's something different, and you got to call out the obvious plot holes and the errors in terms of how slow it is.
Okay,
That's not a plot.
that's not a plot hole.
Your plot hole was that your
something
movie
being
was too
slow paced and something having plot holes is very different problems. Like, what is a plot hole? It is an extreme contrivance or a contradiction.
Yeah.
That is what it is. It's not slow pace. The only way you could have slow pace be a contradiction is if a character in universe is like, wow, my life is really fast paced.
This is such a fast-paced life we're living out together.
But even then, it would still work. Like, that would still make sense, potentially.
Again, I mean, do we really need to sit and watch this woman walk through the back rooms for 5 minutes after we already saw Clark traverse the entire area? I mean, they'll literally go through hallways and it's like one step at a time. And it just kills.
Do you go through hallways in some sort of different way?
He jumps. He skips. Like, they didn't even skip through the hallways.
They didn't even jump.
They don't even know how good they have it. They ain't skipping. They ain't
Dude, if there was
lollygagging.
a
They ain't
scene,
smelling the
if there
roses.
was a scene where Clark just stood in the middle of one of the rooms and jumped, he would love this movie. And in fact, I would too. That would be
Backrooms
funny.
is a raving success. Jump through the backrooms with me.
I'm gonna jump.
The flow of the
Jump.
movie just kills it. And this is only an hour 50. So this is not a very long movie. You would think a movie like
That's a
this would
long
be
movie.
2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 20 minutes, because they want you know explain things. But then of course they say, well, there's going to be a second and a third one. Okay, so we can't win, can we? We want them to explain something. They say, no, you got to wait for the next one.
They did explain it. They
The next
definitely
one comes-
explained it.
He kind of is. He has like a similar speech pattern to Tucker Carlson right now. He went from Trump to Carlson. He's like, the Backrooms are a slow movie. What? You want me to root for a therapist? The Backrooms wants you to vote for women. That's the plan. That's the goal now.
Comes out.
It
We're
sounds
not
so
watching it.
disturbing over the mic.
We're not interested. But listen, I mean, and the other thing is people are just too enthralled with directors. The obsession with directors nowadays
Obsession?
is insane.
Reference?
And the movie must be good because I love the director and I love the story, and no matter what happens in the movie, I'll love the movie because
I love the story. You aren't what? He's like, I love the director. I love the story.
Yeah, this movie's so good. I
It's
love the
good.
story. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually something that I advocate for, is we should be paying more attention to the story.
as the director, and it's this weird cultish following. And it's a 20-year-old director, and it's a YouTuber, so a lot of the YouTubers have to rate it good.
What?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I went to the movie hoping it
What is he
would be good.
saying?
I know a little about.
He's
a
saying
little bit
like
about
he's saying that like YouTubers are biased in favor of Kane Parsons because he is also a YouTuber. Which, I don't know. It could be true of some YouTubers, yeah. Who cares?
Sigh.
Doesn't
Dramatic
matter?
sigh.
Does it matter at all?
No.
Also, for the record, like the director cult thing, all right? Quentin Tarantino is my favorite director. The Hateful Eight is a bad movie. It is.
Mhm.
He made it.
I haven't seen it, so I won't say anything.
Speaking of which, we should do. Oh, that'd be fun. We should do a Hateful Eight video someday, because that's interesting. Like
Calm down.
critiquing the worst movie of the phenomenal director. We should do that. All right.
the Backrooms. It's a horror movie. It was just not scary. The entities were not scary. The second half of the movie was not scary. We weren't even rooting for the woman. She was cold. She had very little background development. They completely switched off of
She had very little background development. They had multiple flashback scenes giving her background. Like, she has more development than he does.
And it's like, not to say that it's a lot or a good amount, but it is there.
It is objectively
It exists.
more background than he gets.
This guy is like astonishing me. I feel like this must be like rage bait to fuel the people.
No, this guy seems
who are
very
praising
earnest.
this, right?
This guy seems very earnest. This is the problem with this whole discussion is we want to be respected for not liking the Backrooms. We want people to respond to our points and our arguments, but we're being distracted from the people in our position are being distracted from by people like this guy and the people on TikTok who just fundamentally are like, I don't know, man. It's a weird situation.
This is so weird.
main protagonist, Clark, who I thought was doing a good job. And people talk about the dinner scene or whatever, and it's like, people said it was slow. I don't even think that was the slowest point of the movie. I mean, there were a lot of parts that were like that.
It was the best scene.
The flow was just
It was.
completely
It was
disrupted
absolutely
several
the best
times. I
scene.
thought maybe towards the middle it was getting better. But after that,
Towards the middle, what happened in the middle? That was when Clark took the
They
two
walked around.
people into the back rooms.
No. Well, actually, maybe that was because that was the 1 hour mark. So it was right after.
Yeah, that
the
would have
middle.
been the middle.
Because the middle was him.
Like, I don't think that scene is particularly great. I see that scene. I'm like, oh, they're just gonna go in the back rooms and these two are gonna die.
Yeah.
Is basically
It's,
what's gonna happen, and then it just did.
and there was no suspense at all.
Yeah, there was
It was
never a
just them
moment.
walking around and then they got eaten.
Yeah, and then he went in the Christmas tree room and came into contact with that zombie.
Yeah.
It's just-
The zombie in the chair.
it's like, oh, the zombie. That's fascinating stuff, man.
They make us follow this woman, and then she gets chased, and of course,
I like the way he says that too. They make us follow this woman. This woman.
I hate women.
They
make me root for a woman?
They made us follow this woman. He says it was. He's
You're
so
telling me
offended.
this story's about women.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
they have the cliche
Women are
of
for
her tripping, so
cooking.
now it's harder for her to run. If there's like a different director, people would call that stuff out as like cliche horror bullshit, but they like the director, so it's got to be genius. And
It's gotta be genius. Okay, nobody is saying the fact that she fell and hurt her leg is genius. That's just the thing that happens in the movie. Do you understand what he's saying right now? Do you understand?
No, I mean, like, I hear what the words coming out of his mouth, but I'm trying to figure out what is happening in
Okay,
his brain.
so
because
what he's saying is like the fact that she falls and hurts her leg is like a horror cliche that a lot of horror movies do, but people think that it's genius because it was Kane Parsons put it in his movie. And like, first of all, just because
What?
something has been done before and could be considered cliche doesn't mean it's bad. Like, you can have somebody fall and hurt their leg in the climax of your movie. And also, nobody
Yeah.
is saying that that's genius. I haven't heard anyone say that. Dude,
It
it's so
represents
genius.
it represents the crippling of her career.
I'll tell you what was a good use of a disability in a horror movie was Annabelle Creation. The main character has polio and she's wheelchair bound. And I remember thinking like that's actually kind of sick. In like a creepy doll horror movie, you know? Because a lot of
Yeah.
those movies you're like, why don't they just beat it up? Why don't they just kick it?
Uh-huh.
But in that movie, she's
She
wheelchair
can't do that.
bound. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But like someone tripping and hurting their leg, that's not like super special or anything. That's just a thing that can happen, and you're allowed to put it in your movie. And the
All
way
right,
that
we're
she
almost
does
It's
it,
the same stuff.
through the funny
but it's like
man.
Us. I mean, the movie was horrible, and people still like it. It's just a preference thing.
What is
So-
Us?
it's the sequel to Get Out. I don't think it's like I haven't
Oh,
seen it, but
really?
I don't think it's like I've only heard good things about it. It's also it's Jordan Peele, and I think Jordan Peele's good at making movies. I don't know. Maybe it's bad. I haven't seen it.
That's my opinion on the movie Backrooms, guys. Make sure you like the video down below. Thank you for watching.
All right. And there's the outro.
what a I'm broken.
You're broken.
My mind has been unsmarted by this strange human being.
Yeah, this movie has not exactly inspired too much interesting conversation. It's mostly inspired pretty uninteresting conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we gotta ask like what's coming next, for us. Well, I guess we can talk about that. This Friday coming out will be a video on Band of Brothers, which
Band
is
of Brothers.
like it's not strictly a breakdown of like a new thing that came out. It's not even close to that. But, neither of us had seen Band of Brothers. We watched it. We thought it was interesting, so we're going to do a little flashback. We're going to talk about Band of Brothers. Then, Tuesday after that, we're going to have a conversation about a show that is highly, highly beloved that we believe is sort of starting to decline. That's going to be Invincible. That is going to be releasing on Tuesday. We're going to talk about the first 4 seasons of Invincible, what we like, what we don't like, what we think is going to go on maybe to continue to be problems in the show, or maybe what are they going to fix, or what could they fix, right? We're going to talk about that. And then the Friday after that, we will have an episode on another war-related movie that came out last year called Warfare. A24's Warfare. And I figured that was
I
going to be
haven't seen it
fun.
yet. I'm excited to watch it.
Yes, I figured that'll be fun to talk about, especially contrasting it with Band of Brothers, because Warfare is kind of like the opposite number to Band of Brothers in a lot of ways. So it'll be an interesting comparison, but that's everything that's set in stone so far. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Shameless plug.
Shameful plug. I'm
All
ashamed.
right.
Uh,
Let's sign off
yeah, that's
after
all.
this
That's
mystical
all
adventure.
I got for this. I really have nothing else to say about the Backrooms or any of the people talking about
They
it.
they were rooms that we walked through together, and now we will walk through new rooms.
And now we will walk out of
Hopefully,
this room.
not talking about the back rooms again.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.